Hello, Oot Cast. This is Kaz here. We are doing chapter 54. I have stolen the spotlight from under them. Joining me is Rayze, the theory genius, and Techno, the technical master.
That was
Yeah,
pretty funny.
it was pretty.
I
I'll
didn't.
allow it. I'll allow it.
I
That
wasn't
wasn't
expecting
bad.
that at all.
No,
Yes.
no, no, no.
Welcome
It's fine.
back.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He deserves it. He has earned the right. I think he's
Hey,
the
no one
first person
said
to
it.
be
No
on for
one
three
said
times.
anything.
Right? No, 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 no. It's fine.
Yeah.
And he's the first guy I think who's been on 3 times. So
Has
Yeah.
anyone been on twice? even?
Foley has.
Foley's
Foley
been
has.
on
Oh,
twice.
Foley's been on twice. Okay, gotcha.
Nobody wants to
So
participate, so
that
it's
we'll
fine.
have to make that
Well,
as a new reward. If you come on
understandable.
3 times, you get to do the intro.
Yeah. I am a trendsetter, yes.
He's a
There you
trend.
go.
Yeah, cutting
All right.
edge. Right. You
We
can
are
start
diving
streaming
in
it now.
to.
But yeah, here we go. Good episode incoming.
Here we are. They've
Mhm.
had their little adventure, and Ashley is now back here with CJ.
Yep.
And CJ just gets straight into it. Like, he just accepts it now. He's just like, she's here. I've accepted her.
Especially
not-
after
still-
she finds him and it's like, hey, by the way, I'm not trying to kill you.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, once you've accepted it in your mind cave, I
The
think it's
CJ
pretty
pose.
easy to go.
It is the CJ
It
pose.
is
Like,
the
it's
The classic.
yeah. Although, to be fair, almost all the girls take this pose at some point.
Oh yeah.
It is,
I mean,
it
Ashley's
is
doing the
CJ's.
exact same thing. To be fair, yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah.
Look at him just towering.
It looks like
You
he's so
realize
close.
how small Ash is.
He's so
like, she
close
is
to
genuinely.
He's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, very much.
He's
so.
behind me.
All right, so yeah, they're now heading
Nice.
downstairs
Actually, a nice shirt on
to
CJ.
catch up with Jamie and the gang who are confronting Vic and Leia. Sorry.
Yeah, you get that right. You get it.
I should get that. For whom the bell tolls.
Ding.
Evil.
Ding.
Oh, the
Getting
return of
into
the
it.
combat music.
And the return of the combat music. Yep. Which I assume this is going to be a combat scene when combat gets added. Like, if
Of course. My favorite weapon.
Of course.
The box
Yeah.
cutter.
the box. I mean, it's
think-
classic. It's a classic
I-
choice.
I think there's another moment late in the episode where it's 100% a combat scene. Like,
Yes.
No,
No, this
no.
this actually got mentioned in chat. The one at the end with Diogenes or Diogenes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Anon will have to clarify on that pronunciation.
Yeah. But yes, Lindsay being the whole, like, these aren't them. This isn't Vic and Leia. This is not them. This is Keone and Capo. You need to act.
Hmm.
And she's right. Every second that they're present in the world, they can use their powers to rip a hole in it and kill everyone. Oh, Anon using those sick transitions now. Like, we saw it in the last chapter, and they're going to be a theme going forward.
If evil, why hot?
If evil why hot.
This
is classic.
That's literally
classic.
the Oot tagline.
Right. This is all classic Keone though. Like, it's worth noting that Keone's, like, the way she speaks, the manner of it, like, it hasn't changed. Unlike Carpo's, who we'll see in a
Yes,
minute, who
'cause
has actually
That's
playing it a little differently.
entirely intentional because we didn't deal with Keone
We
at all.
didn't. We did not resolve Keone's
Which-
issues at all.
Of course, at the end of this, we'll see what the result.
But
of
I
that
do
is.
wonder if that's visually reflected in the fact that Vic's face is completely shadowed, whereas Capo / Leia's is not.
No, but I see what you mean. A
Yeah,
little
like-
dark, but still.
There's a bit more clarity where Capo is concerned because
Speaking of
we
being
understand
shadowed,
her better.
I'm hoping these next chapters we get Misaki without her being shadowed all the time. It'd be kind of nice.
Well, we're going to a spiritual realm, so I'd imagine that
Yes.
she won't be. But this whole section with Capo really does show also that she was right. She wasn't joking or even boasting in 37 when she said she never makes the same mistake twice.
Yep, that's true.
According to Keikaku.
Also, really interesting to see Kieran not even flinch in front of Capo, and she's just speaking as Kroyarek. She's being Kroyarek. She's like, she really has accepted it.
It is very interesting to think about it's not probably that relevant, but like how much combat experience the goddesses actually have, because like that's the first person to ever have caught her Rose back whenever Carpo was defeated. So now she's like, well, fucking, I guess I'll just use 2 then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it takes all of Kieran/Crow's power to do it. As you know, she literally broke the sound barrier to grab her.
We both love to overcommit, don't we?
I mean, at least see Carpo. It's an interesting amount of self like. It's very rare to see a goddess self-reflect to any degree.
Do you think that was gonna? I don't think she would have said that in Leah's art.
I don't think she would have done. No, I think she's changed. Not a lot, but she has changed.
Which, again, a fair point. I don't need an entire Rose to kill you. I'm like, yeah, makes sense.
It's true. Like, yeah, the Rose is the nuke. You don't need a nuke to kill one person. And here we get one of my favorite pieces of music, and it's nice to see Sarah acting. Like, she's actually intervening directly. And I think we're getting a glimpse of the dynamic of the Crow Trinity going forward with this.
Yeah.
With Sarah stepping up to to be like the defender/deflector type, and you know, a lot of mutual support and very close cooperation going on where they use each of their power sets.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting to think about because they're not this. I don't want to mince words. Not the same entity. They are very linked. Yeah, and so. You'd make sense that
they're 2 branches from the same tree, right? That's the way I tend to think of it. Like they're 2, like if most trees split like in that Y shape. It's basically that. Like they come from the same root, but they are very different.
Yeah.
Where Crow herself is going to fit into this, I think, is still up in the air, which is why she doesn't really appear in this fight. Because she still doesn't know where she fits in, and they don't know where she fits in either. Yeah, like there's still a huge amount up in the air for Crow. Collectively and individually.
Still very early on for that proper relationship where everybody knows that everybody is connected, those 3. But yeah, that's an interesting thing that they kind of can cover for each other's shortcomings as being themselves. To be fair,
and it's worth noting, we haven't really yet seen Sarah flex. Like, she's a dragon, right, from under the ocean. Like, apparently dragons in Fae culture are, like, a big deal. So she's got... I genuinely don't believe we have seen Sarah really exert herself yet. Because every time she's been in combat before, she's either been kind of, like, caught off guard and ambushed, or in very, like, difficult circumstances that limit her options. Or she just isn't there, like, at all. She gets pushed away. Yes, and we see the crow stand captured. This is actually really interesting because it shows that Sarah can tap into the crow stand. To grab the rose. But it's really, actually, if you want to go back to that, where Carpo responds, says that's where you are, that's really interesting because she obviously wasn't sure where, like, Crow, quotation marks, the one we know as Crow, was. Yeah. And she feels like that's a reveal. Yeah, it's weird. The goddesses don't know what happened in 50-51. Like, they're not aware of the new status quo, really. Or not in the same sense that we are.
Yeah, I also wonder if that was also a thing that she's saying, like she had, I don't know. To me, I mean, it's probably what you said, but to me that also sounded like, I wonder if Carpo looked for that version of Crow.
Well, she probably believes that version of Crow is the prime Crow, like the Crow that, because she is the Crow that she knows. That's the one that she's clashed with on and off for eons.
Yeah,
she doesn't probably understand that she doesn't understand the dynamic of what Kieran is in terms of being true Kroyaric.
Yeah, because that just happened. To be fair, yeah, you're right.
Right.
I was like, because Leah wouldn't know that yet.
No, she wouldn't. And here we see, Tsukiko and Jamie flexing. You are weak flesh and blood. It's really interesting that they're working very hard to deny Tsukiko's status as some flavor of goddess. Like, she probably obviously isn't on a par, but she has a place in their firmament now that they really don't like.
Yeah, I would say she's definitely a goddess, but the reason why the goddesses are so powerful is because they've been around forever. Technically, I guess it's the other side thing where it's like, technically Tsukiko's been here the whole time, but realistically this is the beginning, so she wouldn't be that powerful. Of power.
Yes.
Her abilities are strong, just not...
Yeah, this is actually a really important sequence here because it shows that Tsukiko has some power still over the girls and the goddesses, at least on Earth.
Oh, sure. Well, because she says that, was it last chapter that, like, their chains were loosened, but, like, they're not gone. And it's mainly because of how CJ's feeling that we can't, like, properly grapple
lock them down completely, because as we will see momentarily, he's not prepared to accept them
until
right
now. After he's done talking to Ashley and he has a bit more resolve, he seems to be doing a little bit better, especially after the whole Jamie thing.
Well, this is given the level of like ego death that he's just undergone, and like we've talked about it a little bit before the episode started, and we're going to get into it at the end, but CJ is going to be a major theme of this episode of Oot Cast, and there's a lot to say about where he's at now, where he's come from, all that sort of stuff. But Victor, this is also the consequence that we talked about in previous Oot Cast.
We were waiting
before
for
we get into CJ, we have to get into depression.
Yeah, Victoria is now experiencing everything that he did.
We were worried about this,
and also she's just experienced. She was also probably along for the ride, at least to some degree, to see what Keone was doing and feeling, and all of that is now hitting Victoria. And
and if you look,
imagine going through the entirety of 50-51 in like 1 second.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right. Oh my god.
And also not only that, but
I know all that, but like 50-51 in particular are like
but all the revelations as well, that flip the dynamic, because Victoria has been getting better up to this point because CJ has been saying to her, you didn't. I was consenting. You didn't do anything wrong. But now all of that is completely thrown into question. Yeah. And it's going to be a huge regression for Victoria, I think, before, like, I don't even know how she's going to get out of this without CJ being the one to help. And even then,
I think what you're saying, it's 100% because you remember on the train, like on the train, it's like you allowed me to become this, because you always say, oh, it's okay. There's no facing the truth or becoming really better.
Ash and CJ turn up, and CJ just doesn't speak. He does not speak this whole section.
And
Jamie's
still talking through Leah. Yeah.
Jamie currently in Leia's body, which was what forced Carpo out. Well, temporarily forced her back. And Jamie's like, right? Everything's fine, right?
Cool.
And Tsukiko, we can tug on it, but this is such a key line. Go back one. That line, I think, is going to be so important for the next 50 chapters.
I mean, this is the plot. I mean, we knew this was going to happen. We know we weren't done yet, which is, we've been saying.
Yeah, for sure, but
didn't get taken care of. Carpo's like the best, and that's hilarious to say. And then Teresa just accepting whatever Uxo has for her, like total opposites on Keone and Uxo and Teresa's end, and then like, and then
this is it. This is going to be about fixing their hearts. This isn't going to be about defeating the goddesses. This is about healing them. This is about fixing
to save their
underlying
souls.
problem.
I think that's so vital. What we were talking about with Vic, and basically with all of them, is the problem has not been solved.
Yeah, I love harping on that point. I've said it like the last 4 Ootcasts.
Like
how each of them dealt with their goddesses was not the way to do it. Like
exactly, and I think he says.
Ironically, like you said,
subtext, but like that's real.
Ironically enough, Carpo was the one who probably had the most good quotation marks done.
Because it seems like, I mean, Vic and Teresa did the complete opposites of each other, and then Carpo was a little bit in the middle with Leah, and then we haven't seen Ashley.
I think the nature of Leia's self-realization meant that she understood Carpo, although she still fights against it, obviously. she accepted that she was a lot like Carpo, and that also, I think, in turn affected Carpo, because Carpo came to see that.
Yeah, she helped out.
Carpo spoke several times. She did in 51, yeah.
Yeah, she
and
Carpo spoke. She wouldn't have done that if they had.
Carpo spoke several times how Leia is so much like her. It's not just that Leia is like Carpo, but the reverse is also true.
No,
that they are so close to each other. Bear in mind the end of 37 when Carpo is defeated, and her demeanor has completely shifts. She's vulnerable for the first time. She's, what have I done? What have I done? And I think we see that slight difference in her demeanor in this chapter, in that little scene, is indicative of that she's now got a little bit more self-awareness, a little bit more, her natural arrogance is going to reassert itself. It was always going to.
Well, because that's how. It's a
because that's just who she is. Yeah. She's not gonna have a complete personality flip just on the basis of one
everybody's going to be
thing.
all nice and sunshine.
Right. That's not how people work, and that's not how Oot works either. Like,
Nope.
CJ might have had a couple of moments where he's been getting better the last couple of chapters, but yeah, Jamie's still worrying about Ashley, but
everybody
she's
in
quickly...
chapter 100 becomes Jamie. That's everybody just.
It's all been Jamie.
But
this, here we go, another heartbreaking moment. Oh my god, this moment really is what really kicked me in the gut. Because Leia was so resistant.
Yeah, because we knew
no anger, no rage. It was all gone.
We knew what was going to happen with Vic. It was eventually going to happen, but this we were not expecting to see this from Leia.
It was also inevitable, but it wasn't so easily realizable. Like
I meant the Vic thing was inevitable.
Oh, the Vic thing was absolutely inevitable.
Yeah. No, the Leia thing, I didn't expect.
I understand.
Yeah. Like Leia was so resistant to the idea of having Jamie occupy her body and take her over and lock her away basically for at least.
I mean, when you think about it, we just talked about it during the Carpo arc. She was just kind of accepted it, like, oh well, this is how I am.
Yeah.
To some extent,
she realizes
I agree.
But there was. She reached self-acceptance.
Okay, sorry,
but
there was.
She didn't realize that self-acceptance is just the first step, right? That's the first steps. Accepting who you are now is the first step.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's when you start working on. Right. Yeah. Well, Teresa kind of just surrendered her will to.
Yes. Instead of just.
Though we don't really know the details of the why of that. Like, she hasn't really talked about her relationship with Orc so much.
Reflecting on that is kind of wild, where we all just kind of accepted it. It's like, oh, that's cool. It's fine.
Because Orco is presented so passively as like that's she's repeatedly referred to as being so passive.
She's so in the field.
It's so jarring because realistically, I mean, we've talked about this. Like, we have Kion and then we get Carpo, who are like the violent ones, right? And then we get
they're cranes.
Uxo,
they're
right?
obviously
the left
if we
and the
want
right
to think
hand.
about violence and everything, Uxo's probably killed the most because of how she functions, right? So it's just a big bunch of. Well,
but the twist
it's not
is that
right
she
in
never.
Front of my face, so she's probably the kinder one right now.
But that's the thing. But the difference is one of intention, right? I think that's what a lot of people will take from it. Like Carpo and Kione they've done their harm with intent from with how they do it. That's how they see it.
Okay.
Also, arguably, I personally feel that she was in denial about it, but on some level she knew.
I was going to say,
but she didn't know.
I know your point, and I agree with you, but then I'm like. Okay, but Uxo, she definitely knew it, but she definitely knew, right?
Yeah,
she said, how many universes have I condensed down to this little liquid for you? And I'm like,
how many souls?
Not to get it really into it, but that goes to God is the biggest murderer.
Right.
If you want to go down that line, it's the same thought process.
Yeah, God's grand plan. People are, in real life, people talk about a deity's grand plan, be it Christianity, Judaism, whatever. They all talk about God's having a plan, and this kind of it also kind of represents that kind of logic of what if that plan was never about you or even your entire universe or any of the rest of it? What if your entire purpose of existence of your universe was to serve someone else coming back into existence that you will never know and understand?
And all of a sudden, Grandpa's position starts looking way more favorable. That's all I'm going to start saying.
It's true. You can't
I'm sorry, what are you saying? You're saying Hayato was
right?
always
Oh
correct?
my
Oh, oh, it all comes
Look,
back.
no, his motivation was correct. His methods were
I
always
like
wrong.
Kaz on Ootcast episodes.
I hate both of you.
You can always get a guaranteed Hayato was correct out of me.
Well,
but no, I mean, back to the point. We have to drag this back.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay, look, yeah, I mean, we all know why Hayato was wrong for what he did.
It's just really
his
funny. Methods. It's his methods
more than
his cause.
Well,
but back to the point. Leia is
figuring out your world's gonna die and everyone's not pointless and everything like that. And you decide to make yourself a god. No, that's clearly the right decision.
100%.
Anyway,
but this really touches on like Leia's been so locked into that anger that she talks about that she didn't even know it wasn't the normal condition for her to exist.
I know,
until this moment.
Imagine feeling total relief and then instantly feeling it coming back.
I mean, it's like a weight is wrapped around your throat your entire life, and then suddenly it's gone, and then that's when you realize that you weren't meant to feel that all that time. In a strange way, it's probably kind of similar to what CJ has experienced on a much smaller level. Like, CJ is so, that's what he felt, like that pressure to like pushing him to behave in certain ways. But we switch back to Victoria now.
Yeah, I was sorry. I immediately was
she is the full impact.
Why
that line echoes exactly what Kione herself says as well.
And
why are you looking at me like that? Please look at me, please.
I hate Anon for this next part because I immediately noticed it. I immediately noticed what she does.
There's a flash of Kione, and then flashes of here it comes, all those memories, and then of her confessing to CJ stuff that she probably didn't even really want to admit to herself. And CJ's just he knows.
Look at that look.
And then
like
it,
all that.
But there's no pity in CJ's
look
face.
She puts her glasses back on.
That is so.
Yeah.
When is the last time she had glasses on?
That
like
was
her arc? God damn.
Yeah.
The
Brilliant.
literal embodiment of the barrier that's now between them. Eyes to the windows to the soul, and there's now a barrier between their souls because they are.
As it was in the beginning chapters, here we are again.
Here we are again. Oh, visual metaphors.
Looking at this again, like
I DM'd
it's hitting me even more.
I DM'd Anon. I was like, "You fucking dickhead." I was like, "You."
We love you, but we also hate you.
That is a stroke of. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I knew what it meant, but like, why does Victoria always have her glasses on? Just reasons.
And even Ash is like, well, why aren't you doing something? And
Kieran saying stuff for the normies.
Yeah, saying stuff for the normies. You didn't catch that.
God damn it.
We're elitists here. We'll heal on
right.
The elitist golf
laugh. I don't need this.
Misaki also spelling it like, is it for the pain or something else? Is he angry? Like she even they're not fully aware. But well, I suspect that Sarah is because she can feel his emotions.
Leah.
And Leia's just this is the part that really breaks you, where she actually begs to be locked away again. Yeah, just take me in again. Don't let me out. I don't want to hurt anyone. This from Leia, who's so proud and so confident otherwise, is just so crushing. And Jamie's like, I want to help, but I don't know how. Like, we won't abandon you. Just hold on.
We
don't
love you,
give
Jamie,
in.
for that. Come on.
Just
hold out a little longer. Don't give in. Come on. It's already over.
But she is only half of the story. The other half needs to be willing, and
the game was quite literally rigged from the start.
Quite literally rigged.
I mean, it's insane. Because Anon doesn't do the whole like, oh, all of a sudden they're bad and now they're good again thing. Like, that's not how Anon
always
writes.
more complicated.
As soon as they became their goddess form or their goddess selves again in the real world, I was like, we're not gonna fucking see them until their arcs again, aren't we? Yep.
That's something. I don't know if it's that far, but it's gonna be interesting.
No, seriously, I think we're gonna go through all of Ashley's arc. We're gonna immediately pick up with Teresa, and then we're just gonna go down the line. I'm not joking. I don't think I could be wrong. I don't think we're gonna see.
I mean,
Leah and Vic
I wouldn't rule it out. I would not. I'm obviously not going to rule it out. I think it's a decent possibility. I don't think personally that's what's going to happen. I think we'll get them back to some degree at the end of Ash's arc, because don't forget, once they get Hebe's power, that will complete their control over the goddesses, which will give Tsukiko far more control.
Maybe.
Right.
I mean,
so I don't think.
I
don't think they're going to be
hits,
MIA for the whole game, but like...
Yeah, I think that they'll come back, but I think there's also a lot to be said about rebuilding CJ's relationship with Vic and Leia from this point, and trying to pack all that into like what for Vic, that will be trying to pack it into like the last 10 chapters or so before
which is already
before
going
the
to
end.
be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't disagree. It just, I feel like if we wait that long, it's just that has way more impact to me. Like, I mean, they vanish.
Yes,
they don't run away. They are gone.
But it's not impact, is it? You're just removing them from the equation. That's not an impactful thing to me, and that's not Oot's style. Oot doesn't just like brush things under the carpet. It doesn't do that. Like it makes you confront these things, and it's just pushing them to one side until later just doesn't fit.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, I don't disagree with you. I don't think that it would push them away completely. Like, we could see. I don't know. I think going from Teresa to Leah to Vic I think that would. I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. We immediately pick up Teresa right after Ashley's arc. Or I thought honestly we were gonna get. I mean, who knows with how Ashley and CJ, like CJ focused content, like how. Like
well, it's all CJ. This is the thing, and we'll get into this. We'll get into this more at the end. Like we said, is that CJ is always there. Like he is the protagonist in the strictest sense. He's present in all of the arcs.
Has the right of it with the fact of we face what's wrong with us in Oot, and so I don't think it's going to be left. And also, this is meta, but if you were playing this game when it was finished. That would be one thing if you didn't see Vic and Leia for, 20 hours. But imagine not seeing them for 4 years.
I mean, okay, look, I don't disagree with you. However, with the way that
that's meta, but
with the way that, well, I mean, I'm fine with getting meta with it. My other reasoning is we know how the rest of the chapters are going to be structured. We know whose arc is after this, and we're focusing on the goddesses.
But I think now, there's a really important distinction to be made.
Do we get them back? Sure. But, I mean, especially with how Teresa vanishes here at the end, like, she should be fine, because she didn't experience any of the craziness that, like, Vic did, and she didn't have the, Leah realization of, I'm just filled with rage. Like, she should be fine. She vanishes too, and so I'm like, well, I mean, we could go pick everybody up, but I feel like having the, like, how are we going to deal with that properly and take the time to do that if we get them back right after Ashlar? Again, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I'm
to drag us kicking and screaming back to this scene.
Yandere pose.
Well, not only Yandere sort of proposed, but I really think this is an important bit for Leia, where it kind of touches on exactly what we were talking about before, where Leia accepted herself, but she never really thought about what that acceptance meant.
Yeah.
Like, even Vic hasn't really, like, even more than Leia, hasn't confronted what it means to be Keone Shah.
Rayze, not at all. Are you kidding me? We that's the thing. That's the thing that I've come to realize in retrospect is, for a long time I said, Oot is all about helping your friends and it's all about doing stuff together. People need each other. But then I look back and I realize that helping and actually realizing what you did wrong are very different things, and that's what I realize now. That this whole time, it's just CJ. It has just been CJ saying, it's okay, Leia, it's okay, Vic, it's okay. But it's not okay.
Yeah,
it's not.
That's the point. It's insane, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Just that realization is something else, because you think it's like, they're fine, we'll get better, but they just don't. And
it's not that there's like anything wrong per se with what CJ does. Like, what CJ does is stabilize them, right? But the thing is, bringing someone back to stability is not the same as fixing the underlying problem, right? They took a step. Like, they took a step towards being better, and they got to a place... Because, like, I admit, this is where my work kind of bleeds into this. One of the chief things that you do when you're dealing with a trauma situation is you want to bring someone back to a place of relative stability to where they were out, to take them out of that state of trauma to a place where they can then start working on the things that led to or caused that trauma. And I think that's where Oot has very cleverly played with us. It's given us that initial, like, yes, okay, look, you did something happened, but it's not the end of the world. You can be better. And then they just kind of didn't, because it just became enabling at that point. It's like it's toxic in its own way, but in a very kind of subtle way.
And as you were saying that, it's not funny, but the funny thing about it is going back to a place before they were like this is like impossible. Like Leia, quite literally impossible. She's always been like this. Victoria, what are you going to go back to when she was like 10 years old? Like, what was it, 13 when her mom died? 13, like, what? You can't 13. Go back to that. That's impossible.
All things caused by their goddesses, and I'm just like, we're blaming Vic and Leia for the way that they are.
And also, you got to remember,
I will say that Vic managed to come to a sort of closure with her mom's death, which is something that she obviously struggled with. That's one thing did have.
I mean,
but
you realize after all this time that your mom died for you, and then you got to speak to her one last time. I was like, I was so happy with how that.
And that's good, and that's great. Yeah. But again, that's like only part of her trauma. Like the stuff tied up in the goddesses, the stuff that's really big picture, hasn't been dealt with. And Victoria, like,
go back. Don't you?
I am the monster, not you. You didn't deserve what I did.
And that's the hold on. Do not click Techno. Do not click. Leave it on CJ, because I'm gonna transition and say we're talking about how they needed to properly face what they did, of course. But the thing is, the person who was trying to doing his darndest to help them doesn't even know himself. He can't possibly bring someone back from that place because he doesn't have that place. He's never had that place. And so we'll get into it with CJ at the end, but I think this moment
I can hear it in your voice. You're so excited to talk about this.
Of course. Dude. Oh, okay. Yes, CJ is
I'm all for
my favorite
it,
character. But you see, this moment here, it feels
defies
wrong.
all the normal actions.
Yes, it feels wrong to say this. It feels wrong to say this, but I was shockingly not overjoyed but happy with this outcome, because he has been, and I mean this in the nicest way, and he knows it too, he has been such wet cardboard, rightfully so, because again he doesn't even know who he is. Again, that's not me blaming CJ for that. He doesn't know who he is, and he's trying to help these people genuinely, so he doesn't have any kind of spine or backbone, because he has to essentially play second fiddle to these absolutely insane, and let's be honest, in their current state, insane people.
I wouldn't necessarily put it in such strong terms, but I think
I'm being very opposed and very blunt.
The key element that I think we can agree on.
What I want to say is that this moment here is CJ. If it's not a good choice, but it is him making a choice.
Yeah.
He is doing something that CJ wants to do.
Yep.
Definitely not what anybody else wants to do.
CJ before would never do.
Oh my God, he would never do.
The second time. The third time. This is the third time, because you've got to include what he does.
You're right. I know he's making choices, but this one is huge.
This one's really
one
important
that directly
because
affects two people that he loves, and and he's making something that maybe they want in the moment, but like nobody wants him to do that. People obviously we want him to save them.
The way I would put it is that this is CJ for the first time. This is the first time putting his emotional needs ahead of someone else's. And that's the key thing, because he's not in a position to try and he's just come to it's just been revealed to him that Vic may well have actually raped him.
And
Leia, he enabled Leia's homicidal tendencies. Like, he's enabled. I mean, he's kept them under control, but he has still enabled them at times. He hasn't really actively tried to reduce them until they reach that point. So this is the first time that CJ is saying, no, I am not going to put myself out there for you when I don't even know who you are or who I am anymore.
And not just that, there's also, I feel, that there's an element of, I have literally done your every whim and tried to help you, and it has gotten nowhere. So now, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, in a sense,
you're still like this, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like this, like, no, I can't do it. Not this time.
No, but not here, not now, not as he is now.
Exactly, not right now. I'm not saying he won't do it, obviously, but like, right now, no.
But yeah, because the person he is in this place is someone who can. Like, let's put this into a slightly different context to try and maybe really put the point home. Would you reasonably expect a rape victim to forgive and go out of their way to help the person who raped them?
You can't put this on YouTube, Techno.
I'm actually like, I'm not gonna put a disclaimer at the beginning. It's good that we're talking about it. I don't care.
It needs to be discussed.
I agree. We have to. I need to talk about that scene in the beginning, first 10, 20 minutes too. But no, I forget what film it is, but it reminded me of this, where someone said you could write this film, give it to 100 writers, like with the premise, and you never get this outcome. That is what I feel with this scene. I do not feel that most people, if you give them Oot and the first 49 chapters, I don't think they're going to do this. They're going to have CJ save them. It's just
because he's the hero.
He's the hero. Exactly.
He's the protagonist.
He's the hero. And he says no.
It's like, that in itself is the point. See, the CJ up until now, up until these last few chapters, has not been someone who's really been able to make a choice.
That's exactly
it. Well,
what
I really like about this is that this makes complete sense to me. Like, this choice that he makes, I totally get it. Like, I agree with you guys.
It does.
In saying that,
that's the thing. It does make sense. I just don't think people would have the balls to do it.
No, I agree, because you would have expected him to, like, take a deep breath here and go, okay, let's save everybody. Let me
work my magic.
Right. And no, because I thought we were gonna get a scene like this for a while now. Seriously, I was like, we're gonna get, like, I don't know what you want to call it, because this isn't CJ being by himself, but I was like, we're gonna get a solo CJ arc, is what I kept saying. Which I didn't think that was ever gonna happen. But this is it. Him making a decision like, no, I can't help you.
But it's all CJ's arc. We all joke about it's always Crow's arc, but in many respects,
no. I know.
The whole game.
He doesn't need a dedicated arc. Yeah, I mean, that's the point. He's everywhere. It's about him.
Yeah, the end of this episode is gonna be, and that's the real kicker, is that before now, though it's been his story, he's been a background.
He's a passenger.
Actor.
He's a passenger.
He is
up until this point. He's a passenger in the story. That's what we've learned. Like, we feel like he was driving events at various points, or at least to a certain degree. But
it's all been about the rest.
Yeah, it's all been about, like, Vic's arc was about Vic. Not just in a narrative sense, but in a very emotional sense as well. Like, CJ's feelings have taken a back seat to helping the others through their traumas and issues and arcs. Which is...
And it's funny, because the game at the beginning sets it out of like, okay, this is CJ's plan. He's going to go help everybody, and this is how we're doing it. And then you just see him slowly deteriorating. Like, okay, all right, we saved another one. All right, we saved her again. All right, we're saving her. Okay,
we did it. We saved the city, Patrick.
As the city is on fire. Exactly.
Yeah.
And just Jamie's like, do something, because that's what she's done. Of course, she sees the best in Jamie. And then Sarah can.
They're in the hammer.
He just doesn't want to. Oof.
And then
they fade away. Where to? We actually don't know.
No one
Actually
knows.
vanishing. Like, not,
I
okay,
would-
they just ran
yeah.
away. Like, literally off the face of the earth.
I mean,
They
my
are gone.
personal guess is that they are still, like, in the world. They're just somewhere else.
They probably have to be, like,
yeah, I don't, because they're still
speaking,
attached to Sakiko's chains, right? They're still attached to Sakiko's chains, so they can't, I think, leave the world entirely. They still have to. They're still bound here.
If they've retreated back to whatever their version of
To
the pocket
Kamigawa,
dimension
most likely.
is.
Oh yeah, or pocket dimension, yeah, that
like,
too.
I don't know. I can't think of what Leah's would be with Carpo. I know what realm it would be. I guess it would just be her throne world, and then I'm assuming Kira went back to her.
It's the world. It's the castle. It's the castle we see her at in 51. Would be my guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Where she had her ascension.
To wrap this up in a tight little bow, one of the reasons why I think this scene for me will be very reflected on and just drawn back to is that I have been waiting for this scene
for a long time.
Some kind of scene like this.
I'm sure for you,
and I know
I'll
save it. I'll save it for the end. But yeah, this scene I have been waiting for something like this, and it's happened. And
that's why you like the man with the.
I mean,
it wasn't the right and it wasn't the good choice, but it was a choice, and
it was the right choice narratively, I think, rather than.
Sorry, I mean, in like emotionally, like it wasn't
absolutely.
the right thing to do.
I think it's really important to note no one here blames CJ. Like they don't get angry at him.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that I was going to bring up. I was
if they did, I
really
think
happy with
they know. Everyone knows what CJ's been through, and especially with them.
And
then the very ominous hand over the stomach, and then the vanish.
Where's Teresa?
Yeah.
Oh, she gone.
Again, that's part of
possible implication that she's pregnant, possible, or it could just be, you know.
Oh no,
that's not. Anon's not doing that.
Who's gonna go places if he does that?
No, but like, but no, I didn't necessarily mean like in the sense of a biological baby. I mean like spiritually, because don't forget she's that's how she takes power.
Oh my god, please don't.
We are going places.
There's no way.
We are going places. Wonderful.
Yes, Museum of
All right, guys.
Black.
Same time next week. That's the update.
All right. That was it.
But no, here we get a little bit of MM's. Yeah, we get a little bit of MM's character comeback. His LR character, son.
Oh boy, you thought we're going from one emotional.
I'm not gonna lie.
Train wreck to another.
I expected us to talk to them again. Didn't think it was going to be this soon.
I didn't think it was just going to be Mizzy either. I thought it would be like a scene for CJ to go through.
That's so funny that you mentioned that, because I agree with you, but also thinking about it now, it makes perfect sense that it would just be
with
Mizzy.
with her being Hayato and knowing,
especially after Kay disappearing, like who else is going to be more like, oh my god, who's the most pissed right now?
Right.
You know, we were thinking it. I'm sure most of us were thinking it when we saw Mizzy, and it's like, oh, that's Hayato, but like without the let's call it corruptive influences.
I was gonna say, hold on, out of everybody in the cast, like Leah's scary, like Crow's scary because they're supernatural beings, but like in terms of like real world, like normal scary people, it would be fucking Mizzy, like who's pretty much Hayato.
She I mean, don't forget, she works very hard to be who she is, but there is a part of her that is Hayato with all that entails.
Yeah, if you're gonna die, it's
Well, also not only that, but that also applies to the triplets as we see in this. Like,
yes, well, I mean,
all three of the maids in this chapter, like we see that, all that happy-go-lucky, sexy, fun-time maids, they're real, but so is the other part of them.
Yeah, I mean, what were they?
They were created to be servants to Hayato, right? Hayato wouldn't just want airheaded bimbos. He wants tools he can use for anything.
So true. And, you know, it's interesting because we went from a scene that I will go back to very often, just thinking about it. And now we're going to a scene that every theorizer will go back to every day to try and figure out what's going on.
Well, I feel like this scene isn't super overly complicated. It really just confirms a lot of the stuff that we thought.
Yeah,
it's dense. It is dense.
It is dense, but mostly because it mostly comes down to Stacy's monologue, where she sort of has that thing where she obviously starts to remember stuff.
Right. But I mean,
which we'll get to shortly. But this mostly, Sonya is about confirming stuff we've theorized about for a long time, as you guys said.
Yes.
That they created two bodies, that Sarah's inhabiting the other one, all that stuff, as we're about to get into.
Which, I mean, it provides the, okay, well, how was Sarah's body alive? Oh, it was brain dead. Okay, so they kept it alive. Blah blah. Right.
So it was an empty vessel.
Things that we didn't have an explanation for, but we could kind of just right away at the time as in like, okay, so somehow, because it's got to be Sarah, right? Was kind of the thought.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole, so you're actually just identical to Sarah. It's CJ. Isn't that insane?
They're clones of each other. Which, and someone pointed out, that makes them twins, right? It's like, not necessarily the same thing. Clones are artificially created, twins are natural.
No, I mean, I know that CJ and Sarah are different, and they look different, and they're biologically different, but, like, if you're telling me they're twins, like, from a clone, like, if you clone yourself and you tell me that that's your twin, I'm like, it's not how it works.
We've gone full circle on the Patreon thing. How is Anon done this? Secondly, the rug pulls this guy's doing. Like, how did Sarah get made? It's the fairies, obviously.
Right.
Like, why would I second guess that? Why would I do that? When we just had Skydad talk to CJ, like, why would I question it? But now I have to question everything that happened before. It's
right.
Fuck you, Anon.
You wearing glasses?
Camel?
I don't know.
No, I think they're like tortoiseshell thing.
Yeah, I think there's tortoiseshell.
Oh, okay. I was like.
And Naomi's showing that she doesn't remember CJ because of the karmic separation that she underwent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Sonya's trying to de-escalate and be like, I'm not a threat, there's no danger. And she also says that, like, it shouldn't be possible. Like, this really nails home just how much.
It's divine intervention. Like, she's
right.
Like, nobody could make this. Not even Hayato's Hayato's stuff is minor in comparison to this. This is insane level stuff.
Like, it's probably something that, like, is literally, like, 200 years ahead of time, even with the current level of technology. Like, it's so far ahead, it should not be possible at this time.
Yeah.
And it shows you how little Sonya, and it also shows you at the same time how little Sonya knows. She really has just been a tool. She doesn't even know Uxo's name.
Yeah, if it wasn't clear in Uxo's arc that she wasn't terrifying like the other two that we've had, the Amber woman, the one that's in their dreams constantly giving them forbidden knowledge to create some from their point of view, some monster, like
put that
Eldritch, like honestly, out of every goddess, Eldritch horror the most is Uxo for sure. Like, good
Lord.
Well,
just think how terrifying she is in 51. Like, mommy knows best. Like, did you what?
Oh man.
Yeah, but it's really, you definitely, like, we get a glimpse here of just how dangerous the maids are. And I would like to make the point I mentioned before in chat. I do think Mikan is the most dangerous of the three maids. Like, she has got a
What's her color combo?
To it.
What's her color combo?
Oh god. It gets mentioned later on, right?
Isn't she gold and purple?
That's why I was like, no wonder. Yeah.
Or is she purple and amber? She might be purple and amber, actually. Well, we'll get to that later anyway.
Yeah.
But this Tropicali reference.
Sorry, they got mentioned last update. I'm thinking of
Tropicali reference right there.
Yeah, Tropicali reference with Yoko getting a mention. The original Yoko, I should say.
Her.
And Mayu saying it out loud. If you know what we are, then you know what we're going to do to you if you don't start talking. Like, the maids are completely capable of torture. Like,
that side profile.
Right. Don't play the victim, not after what. But Mizzy currently has no fucking mercy, which is. And that is also true. Uxo gave them what she wanted. Like, they want to, like, push things, and it's very much monkey's paw type shit. Always with the monkey's paw.
Mm.
But this is really just Sonya explaining why and how it all got started, that she wanted to,
Yeah.
It's a classic case of ambition being taken advantage of. In a sense, it echoes exactly what happened with Hayato. And it really nails home just how far Orkzo's manipulations go. Like it would take 10 billion years to make the number of things possibly happen that would be required to achieve what they did. And yeah, Sonya herself says only now does she learn her name. She only gained back her sense of self afterward. Like it shows you how closely she was actually under the control, even at a distance, of Orkzo. Entire universe is made just so she could have access to a molecule. Like that's really nailing home the scale of things.
And then, of course, obviously, if it wasn't clear enough, first he would be made.
First he would be made, and then a perfect vessel to be his right hand.
Like
his literally his right hand, not his left hand. She says,
"Pay attention, normies. This is for you."
His divinity would flow through the rest of humanity within generations, but a blink of an eye for a perfect immortal soul as he. So that's speaking to the breeder mods that were put into him. That's clearly Orkzo's personal twist element that she wants
was like,
to.
Yeah, you're gonna have so many babies that the rest of humanity is gonna be born from you.
Yeah, because eventually his kids would go out and have other kids, and it would just spread. Interesting that she also intended for Sonya and Stacy to be the first mothers.
But that's not Patreon friendly.
Yeah, well, technically it is because they're not his biological parents.
I mean, okay, yes. I mean, fair enough.
Technically,
you're right. Technically, you're right. Doesn't make it good though.
Yeah, your grandfather spoke of immortality, but the serum he created was a mere shadow of what perfection he would be. Like, it really does kind of put Hayato's work into more like. He was fumbling around in the dark with things he didn't fully understand, even as much as he pretended to, or believed even that he did.
I mean, from his point of view, he keeps delving in and trying to uncover everything, and then you like zoom out.
But he only
he's
ever seems to get the surface level.
Anything. It's just, it sucks for him because he's like, the scope is insane.
He's trying to compete with goddesses, like with gods on this scale. Like he thinks he's capable of doing so. It's quite, and yeah, you see Stacy starting to get some recollections back, and a brain dead baby girl. Yeah, so this is interesting because they don't remember. Neither of them like seem to remember that. So at some point, the body of the girl that was still alive, went into a tank.
Yeah, because she says, we assumed the girl had died until we returned here recently. The growth chamber there had been used for years. So that is interesting. We don't actually know.
So the question there becomes is who took the? I mean, odds are it was Skydad under Jacob's direction, but that's just my guess. Or maybe even just Jacob himself.
I wonder. I mean, I'm not against that answer. I just am like, okay, if it is that, that makes sense because I agree with you with the whole Jacob being involved. That's why Skydad's around. But like, I felt like the whole reason for Sonya and like, for
it may even have been CJ himself.
Is that she's a physical element. So if she didn't do it, I just find it interesting. I feel like it had to be somebody else, like a physical person.
It could have been a literally spiritual teleportation. Like we've seen spirits teleport in the real world or move things around that way.
We just saw it happen.
So
this chapter,
So it could be Jacob. It could be, or it could even have been CJ himself calling a vessel suitable for a servitude to himself. Like it's not. We can't rule that out.
Do you think
he still seems to follow the rules quotation marks for OG shards of having a Fae companion, and the universe arranges itself to make that happen.
Yeah, so
I
do
there
think it's
are other
interesting.
Chambers,
Phil,
she
chambers.
Says
there was a growth chamber there that had been used for years. We assume for Sarah, and then whatever happened to her, you may know more than me. I remember those chambers, 6, 7, more than we ever ended up using. So when she went back, she was like, "Oh, these have been used." Is what?
That they could have been used. She's not sure. Like, it's interesting that they had all those tanks though. Like, are there others at play here? Is that why CJ has a connection to 3 other individuals? 3 other CJ shards, OG shards. Like there's a lot of potential there.
He talks about,
or it could just be a red herring.
I find it so like I can't imagine how horrifying this was for her to like. She's about to talk about how
Yeah.
like she talks about, did you know that all the metal in the earth was like after the first atomic detonations, right?
Which is all true. This is all true.
You would be able to know when something is from, and then you analyze something and realize that there's no way this could possibly be from the world that you're in.
Right.
Right.
It really does.
Utterly unique. Couldn't exist. It isn't. Some other place, some other time, right? It's insane to think about what Oxo did.
Yeah. Whatever happened in the name of the...
Yeah.
Which is probably relief to her in many ways. And then stop. Mizue stops her in her mid-science flow. Mm-hmm. He has a name. Like, that someone mentioned that Mizzy's kind of like not great with CJ, like angry at CJ. It's like, no. She's still fully in love with CJ. She's completely still, like, she's so protective of him in this conversation.
Yeah, I'm about to say, to be fair, like, it's really hard to give everybody, like, it's not like this is Anon's fault. Like, we've seen that Mizzy and CJ do stuff all the time, even if it's not just sex related. But I mean, we just don't have. We can't see everything that happens. We know that they have a relationship.
Do you know how much longer it would be if we just had enough quotation marks slice of life?
I mean, months happen. I mean, between chapters, we've seen time skip. We know that we've
had the 8-month time skip. We had several.
We can't see everything, guys.
No, Anon, you need to show me every single section.
Oh, guys, did you guys want 500 more chapters?
I want all 25 a day.
Yes.
Right. But it's interesting that Mizzy can't tell her his name because she doesn't know what name he's going to use. But she says it herself, he's a caring and loving person. But Sonya doesn't even take that. Like, this shows that Sonya's not exactly a good person either. She just immediately assumes that that Mizzy is being controlled.
I know that this isn't going to happen, right? But I do find that just so terrifying from Sonya's point of view. Like, because, okay, we know that that's not what's happening with the rest of the group, with them, like, with Mizzy and CJ. But, like, from Sonya's point of view, it's like, you may just be looking at your future, two broken humans.
Right. And this is here we go.
Oh, it returns.
And then Broken Man, Shattered Man starts to play again. Oh, such a good and it works.
Oh, man.
She set the stage, but it wasn't her. She didn't make him alone. She decided there would be two. So it was,
But they
all made him.
Of course.
And then interestingly, we get all of the colors, including Hebe's color. They all loved him in a different way. And this is such important information. No, they all loved him in a different way. And Naomi just really goes into, Endless Lust, which is obviously Kione, a foil, Carpo, husband and father, which is a trait, is also, and hope and admiration of a best friend, which is he. The four forms of their love for him. They all were a part of it. But yeah, she felt these lines, they called his name, each time different, yet always the same. Speaking to each of all the different shards. Yeah, they loved his work for to create is to love. Really important line going forward, actually, I think. Like, but they knew so little of him, only what he did, which is really interesting. And again, but she was hit. Yeah, she is scared of Hebe the most. Like, you would think that Kione would be the most terrifying, or even Carpo. No, it's Hebe. So that to me makes me think, that to me speaks to the fact that whatever Hebe has done is probably in a similar vein to what Orxo did, where she's tried to like achieve something that she, like a dream that she shared with
interesting.
OG.
That's how she describes Hebe. Is all I could see was a titanic being the size of a world palsy with agony. It was horrible. So that's different from what she sees from the other ones? Because I would.
She actually sees behind the seal, which is, and it's also worth mentioning that Hayato and the goddesses all and Orxos particularly when CJ sees the seal the first time say that there's some kind of cancerous mass of souls on the other side. So my guess is that what
he be protecting all of the rest of humanity at the end of time. And it's
well, no, I think it's. I don't think it's that. I think that what Hebe's done is that she has held on to the original universe that she and the others had with OG, and I think that she's kept on. She's tried to like fulfill their dream in that universe, but it's just gone on for so long, and it's like a widow holding on to
Do you think
the belongings of their beloved and just trying to preserve it, and as time goes by it becomes more rotten.
I'm asking because I don't know what you think. Do you think that's the same place that Ashley goes to whenever she passes to her ring, or no?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Because to me, I'm just saying because I don't know. To me, that doesn't
I
sound
don't
like
know.
that
Like
place
it's
to me.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You mean, it seems relatively utopic where she ends up.
I mean,
where Ash goes
again,
to.
That place.
But my guess there is that may be the difference between Hebe herself and the world. I think what Naomi and the others are sensing is likely where Nile is, as we will learn his name in a moment. Mm-hmm. Where Nile is, and that's what Nile has created. But he's done so under Hebe's aegis. Under her power, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So that's what they're sensing. They're not necessarily sensing Hebe herself per se, unless the two is that there's no difference between the two. Like it's just two different parts of the same thing. Like we just don't know.
It's so interesting to me because we know that Hebe wasn't directly aware of. Well, I mean, we know that to be fair, we know why, or at least we think we know why the goddesses aren't aware of CJ's thing. But like somehow creating him the way that they did here managed to pull Hebe's direct, like her attention just enough from whatever she's doing behind that seal.
Well, she didn't know anything was going on until CJ arrives through the seal.
Yeah, I know. Well, but again, we know why that. I mean, the rest of the goddesses didn't know either. I mean, until because they thought he was just normal.
Another shard. Like, well, they thought he was a special, like a particularly powerful shard, but they didn't know.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. I mean, it's just like it also to me makes it sound like because we know that Keon and Carpo killed Jacob and Cameron, but then it's like they came back to the same world, not realizing it was the same world after they killed that shard. And they're like,
I mean, there's another possibility. Sorry to just backtrack just a little. That has like I've kind of been toying with. What if the seal? It's kind of similar to what you're saying, actually, Techno. What if the seal itself is Hebe, and she's holding back that massive wave of corruption?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would be inclined to, like, honestly, I think one of our original theories, which was we thought that Hebe had tried to like choose her own like OG, and that would have been like Niles,
and
right?
that's what Nile was. But Niles
Niles ended up being a massive fucking like I'm gonna eat every OG.
He's the opposite. He's the opposite. Right? Like he's literally because that's his name. Like as someone else pointed out in the spoilers chat, Nile is Elin backwards.
Oh my
it's
God.
also.
Oh my God!
It's also.
He's the reverse. He's the reverse.
Oh my God! It's reverse CJ.
It also
CJ.
works.
He's nega
it works
CJ.
Even better because it's also like. I think I said it in one post. It was like, yeah, the followers of Nile, the Nihilists. Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah.
God.
Like it works.
Dude, it fits.
Funny.
It's so good. It's
That's
good. It's such a good.
No,
so
I mean,
like
if we
kind of combine all this
it makes
together,
total sense.
And then
so, like,
her at the end realizing that this was a really bad idea, and then locking that entire universe with him away in it.
Yeah,
like,
but she has to use all her power to do it because she doesn't have full strength. Mm-hmm. And she may have given too much power to Nile. Because
he seems to think that he is chosen by her. At least that's what we heard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that may have been... So, like, the scenario in my head plays out like this. You know, OG's shattered. She's just as bereft as the rest. She tries to find him among the pieces. She finds a piece that she believes is like him. Right? And then she empowers that piece, does all she can to help him, but he starts to over time he changes, he becomes what he is now, Nile.
Especially
this cruel, selfish.
I was about to say, especially looking at his personality, like we don't know him that well, but we can just go ahead and tell. If what Hebe wanted out of OG was a best friend and a bunch of other stuff. That guy's nobody's fucking best friend. You're his
Right?
you're his like his servant. That
But
guy has no friends.
she sets him up. So she sets him up to be, to try and bring it to be the. She tries to bring back OG like through him. Or
That's
whatever.
the thing, right? She was so desperate to do that she was.
And
like,
then she finds out that's what disillusions her and why she reacts to CJ the way she does.
And then trying to remake him, and the guy you remake is a total fucking psychopath.
Right, and then that's why she reacts the way she does to CJ in 49, where she
whatever.
I've always
48, 49. So she's like, he can't be you. He's gone. Like that's what drove her to believe that he's gone. He's not there anymore.
He tried. He's not coming. Yeah, it's like you're not.
I did not notice the name thing because I'm a troglodyte, but whether or not the nihilistic thing was intentional,
it still fits. It really fits.
I'm using it every time.
Look,
it's so good.
Look, knowing Anon,
because that is literally that is also the opposite of
be,
CJ. Those both are opposite of CJ. What CJ is.
Yeah. Probably was. I think
like all the traits. Well, this is also a really awkward time for CJ to meet him because when we talk about CJ's traits,
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. But this is an awkward time for CJ to meet him, given that CJ is in an identity crisis.
I have a rare Kaz theory about that meeting.
Right. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. We're now going to get CJ talking to Rebecca, who still remains as a big mystery around Rebecca as to exactly, not necessarily how she fits in, but the mechanics of where she fits into.
It is very interesting how many people stick around after they die. It is very
anyone touched by a sufficiently powerful spiritual entity or a part thereof seems to be more resistant to their soul dissipating.
I'm gonna
after
say it
death.
because I know he's gonna hate it. No one's ever really gone.
Oh. You're lucky he probably doesn't watch the Oot Cast.
Yeah.
But I still find it's very weird. We've seen what she looks like, and we're still not getting to see her face.
Because he can't look at her.
Because he can't see it. Yeah, he can't see her face.
He says it later on. You know why?
And she can't see his either, because then she would know who he is.
Yeah, she's talking with Jacob. What the heck? No, it can't happen.
Yeah.
For now.
But yeah, and it's really interesting that CJ he doesn't hide.
Yes,
he's like,
the bags under the eyes.
Fucked up, dude.
My heart feels for you, CJ. I feel for you, brother. I mean, look, I love how he goes, drama, girls, yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
well, you're that age. Did you mess it up, or was it someone else? I don't like. Yeah, it's true. He doesn't know. How can you respond to that?
I mean, that's such a loaded question. Whose fault was it? Was it really anybody's? Was it everybody's? It's a great question.
But I think Rebecca really kind of speaks though to how I think it is generally going to go. It's just going to be coming to understand that everybody has their own problems and I think, facing up to them.
I really wonder when we're gonna. I mean, I'm wondering when CJ's going to talk to Sarah about this, because, I mean, he's seen what she looks like.
He needs to sit down, and not just Sarah, but Kieran as well.
We know that technically this isn't his mom, but, like, how fucked up is it right now he thinks that he's their child? Like, because he technically is, but technically not. Like, we know that Jacob's still kicking around somewhere.
Technically.
Well, I mean, it's like, we know that Jacob's still around somewhere.
It is,
and imagine,
it's a mess, and I mean that in a good way.
Your guardian fairy, the one that's supposed to be with you forever, looks like the person that you think is your mom.
Dude, I think I said it before. It was like, damn you, Freud. Shut up. Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
This line personally resonates with me very much. Like, you could pass someone by having the worst day of their lives and never know it. And it's true. Like, that's the measure of empathy.
I'm not laughing at CJ here. I'm not laughing at CJ here, but you could pass someone having the worst day of their lives and never know about it. CJ's face.
And then he cuts to CJ's face.
My boy, we're here for you. It's gonna get better, but it's about to get way worse.
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
I mean, at 58, right? 58 is the emotionally lowest point, as we've been told.
I have thoughts.
Because Masaki dies, and that's just the fucking worst.
No, that got shit canned. I'm proud to say.
Oh yeah, that's
Anon himself. Right. Anon himself appeared to say.
I remember.
He's a cheater. He can't say, no, I'm not going to tell you, but tell you when it's not.
Well, hold on.
This is not how it works.
To be fair, I mean, insider meta knowledge. I looked. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but someone was posting the animations for the Oot combat, and I noticed that the outfit that CJ was wearing, I swear to God, the jacket looked just like Misaki's. Like it was the same design and color, and I was like, "Holy shit, Misaki's sacrifice might be real because he takes her fucking jacket like
he
it's a fucking
he
like
was
red
so...
flag." I was like, "Well, because I don't want Misaki to die, and I didn't think that was gonna happen."
Well,
And I was
to-
like,
to be
"Anon, you have
fair,
to tell
like,
me, is this Misaki's jacket?" And he was like,
Is
"That's a
this
good
real?
guess, but no."
But like, yeah, that's the thing. We have so much meta knowledge. Like, even talking about the end of the game or which arc is whose, like, that's all meta, and so
Sure,
Right.
but I trust
it's just
Anon to
something
give
you
us
have
that
to go with.
information and not spoil things. Like, we have all this meta knowledge, and I don't know where the fuck we're going.
And people talk a lot about the Ryan Gosling meme
Yeah,
strip.
the life and times.
The Life and Times.
The times
But
of CJ.
they were talking about it the other day, and I have to say I stand by what I said there. Where this is a Anon who made it, which means that it's probably so vague and abstract in what it actually
is.
Well,
represents
because
and
this
talks
is the
about.
guy. This
that
is the guy
you-
that was like, "Oh, it's so obvious for so long," and I was
It's
like,
so
"You
obvious,
suck."
guys, and it's so obvious. Okay, we're not gonna get into it, but like every time, and then when we got closer, he'd be like, "That's like one of 5 twists." It's like, so it's not obvious, you absolute dickhead.
Yeah. It's a
that one
twist.
twist might be obvious,
Oh,
but
that's one of
everything
them.
else,
That's
MM
one
is
of the
seething
twists.
right now.
yeah.
How so? How so?
Because he doesn't like the twists. He's like,
Yeah,
"How am I
he's like-
supposed to guess it?" And I'm like, "Well, that's why it's a twist, buddy."
Right. And he gives us all these pieces of information, and there's no point in trying to understand them because there's too much information and you're going to be wrong. I'm like,
It's okay. It's okay.
That's how it works.
We're
I
in
hope he
Ashley
doesn't
arc,
watch
and
this.
nothing will ever be confusing in Ashley arc because of how non-confusing Ashley is. It's okay.
right. No, Ash will just cut off K31 every
Ash
time.
will cut
She's
off
about to give us
exposition.
essential information.
Please let Jamie meet K31, or oh my god,
Right.
please. That's
my
the
God.
only way we're ever gonna get any answers.
Okay, we gotta
Jamie.
focus, guys. I'm becoming
Focus
techno.
on-
We gotta
okay,
lock
so-
in. We gotta lock in.
This is actually really interesting seeing that Rebecca talking about Cameron. And you can actually kind of compare Cameron to how CJ is being right now with the way she describes Cameron here.
Yeah.
You can see some similarity with how...
CJ, come on, buddy. Come
I'm
on, man.
imagining that SpongeBob face, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jacob's like, where do I even start?
I really do like this scene, though.
It's a really, it's a
didn't
moment
know-
of...
I didn't know if we were gonna get any more of her scenes like this, like since the whole revelation of like who she is and all that stuff from 50-51. But man, this is really nice.
I mean, I think she's going to be a really important emotional element in CJ's emotional development as we go through this arc and get to the end of it. She is the mother figure that he always wanted. Yeah, I know we can talk about Teresa / also filling that role.
no.
But that's
you're
different,
right.
right?
You're right.
And we called him Chasey a whole.
Hayato, you bitch.
Why are you fighting Hayato?
Because Hayato, you don't remember like the stillborn line, that stupid name.
Oh! I guess fair enough. I just thought we were
Yeah,
blaming
yeah.
Hayato for no reason. Like,
No, he
hashtag blame
said
Crow.
like your name. You don't even know what your name means, idiot.
Stupid. You don't know all the things that had to happen for you to exist.
And I'm not gonna tell you, idiot.
Kill yourself.
You should
I
kill
mean,
yourself
it's
now.
not. I also think it's kind of low key important that so much is now made around CJ's name. Like he's got so many
God.
potential
Oh my god.
names that get
I
thrown
hate
around.
this line though.
Well,
I hate this line. I hope so. I picked it.
you do
The
not hate
idea
this
came
line.
to me while I was looking out over the ocean.
Over the ocean.
Nobody makes
Of
any
course.
decision in this game. Everybody gets mind influenced by the goddesses in the nature in the Fae.
Or Faye,
Techno,
or
say
something.
the line. Say the line, Techno.
I saw a
Nothing.
sparkle
Nothing
rise out of-
ever happened.
Nothing ever happens by your own decisions.
Hmm.
But the thing
That's
is,
not
if
true.
that's literally Sarah who inspired that, indirectly or otherwise, then she was inspired by herself.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
yes.
again, it's
The circle.
we talked about it because this is clearly like actually her soul here in whatever state that she's in, and it's not
Right.
Sarah, who we know is her own fae and her own soul. So whatever piece that was Crow broke off and separated from the human part and the Fae part somehow.
Somehow, in some way. Or this could just
very
be
distinctly different because there's no way that she can exist.
I really want Sarah to speak with Rebecca. Like, I want that.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
what will happen
God, that would
when
be amazing.
that occurs? Like, seeing that, having them be in the same room, talk, and like that's going to be really interesting.
Ugh.
I mean, he was. So go back a couple. Cameron was closed off, but he's a really, he's a good guy. Okay, CJ is currently closed off, but we know he's going to come through as a good guy.
Well,
I think but that's the thing. I think it was the opposite before now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he carried all the angst. He carried all of his angst locked up inside him, but he wasn't able to properly express
himself to the entire class with the fucking JoJo pose with his with Sarah. Like, this guy was talking to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's mirror images, right? Like he was the guy that he was, and then now he's being more like his dad, and there's so many layers to it. But yeah, he tells her that.
Dude, I hate this because then, I hate this because then we immediately see CJ appear at the place where Cameron's been the whole time, and then he doesn't get to tell him.
Yeah,
well,
I feel like that's going to be something he tells him at the I think one of the things that's going to make 58 such an emotional gut punch is I think that's where we're going to get the resolution to Cameron, Rebecca, and Jacob. I think
they're gonna,
and that's going to be really.
Yeah, maybe.
I totally see it as
if Jacob and CJ are I think spiritually speaking, basically the same person, like two parts of one soul, however you want to put it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're spiritually the same person, then I think what we might see is Rebecca and Cameron accepting CJ as their son in the same way that they accept Jacob as their son. So, and then if he's going to then lose his parents just as they accept him as their parent, can you imagine what that's going to do to CJ? Like, even if it is a thing of catharsis in a sense, it's still going to be an immensely emotionally hard thing for him to process. It's there's so much complexity in him, and that's on top of what I suspect is going to happen with the other Ghost Squad parents, who are all going to have that similarly. There is so much there.
The happy ending would be Hebe all integrates them into the giant AI spear, but that's probably not going to happen.
No, dude. I got thoughts on that.
Oh, do you?
No, every single time you see that in any sort of media, and not for the wrong thing, it's always like, hey, look, no one dies. And it's like, yeah, that's a problem.
That's what Oot
it's really worth noting that early on in Oot, quite a big deal is made out of how the cycle of reincarnation is so important, that people live, they have their experiences, they die, they go to the other side, the soul disseminates in the other side, fueling all the energies that are there, and then people are then born back into a world as a soul again, over and over, and that's the natural cycle of life and death. Breaking that cycle, she doesn't just prevent death. He apparently hasn't just been preventing death from old age or stuff like that. No, she's preventing any kind of death. So that means souls are not moving on, which is quite likely what they find so unnatural.
And she's also still allowing souls to be made. She's still allowing the beginning to happen, but not the end. So that, you're right.
No, this is going to become Pulse or something. Oh boy.
Oh, it's fine.
Pulse is a Japanese horror film where heaven's full, so ghosts start filling out into the real world.
Yeah, that little sequence, that little ending there where she wants to pass a message on to Cameron is very, I'm going to come find you. I just got to find Jacob first, man. That's
yeah.
But yes, Ash wants to go after.
Here we come.
Yeah, Ash wants to go after them. But Jamie again with a really important line that really nails home what she said before, what Tsukiko said before. I can bind them briefly, but I can't change who they are as people. That's not how this works.
Why are the shots in anime so weird?
Shut up.
Male gaze. You know it, I know it, just accept it and move on.
I'm just memeing. I don't. I like it. What do you mean?
But yeah, Sarah also showing more of her insight here. Like, I think we're seeing that wisdom of the reeds and waves that Crow talks about. Like, we're seeing serious mode Sarah, which is, well, to be honest, we haven't actually seen we haven't seen her normal self. Quotation
Yeah,
marks
that's
on normal.
why. That's why. Like, we're gonna have lots of talking to with our characters. Like, CJ hasn't talked to Sarah at all, and there's been I can't imagine how Sarah's feeling.
Sarah's right. I have to agree. I do agree with Sarah that CJ needs to, the gang as a whole needs to deal with Hebe first, because things are going to be unstable power-wise until they complete the set.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically getting to a point of like, okay, now that we can actually move forward, and actually solve problems.
Yeah, like, obviously getting Leia and Vic back is important, but like there's kind of no point to that unless we are in a place to resolve the underlying issue.
And Ashley, honestly, I love you. Thank you for asking.
Well, she's kind of channeling the audience here again. She's like, why the fuck is this? Is she here? My classmates' ignorance aside, I don't think your original planning is wrong.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not. I mean, look, I don't. Not a crazy statement. We've been with every single character except her for forever with dealing with this mess, and all of a sudden, oh look, Lindsay's here now. Why are you here?
Well, I think Lindsay provides a useful counterbalance.
Oh no, I mean, I'm not complaining actually.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying that she provides a useful counterbalance to she provides a useful perspective to the group to kind of break up the normal pattern of events. I eat crazy lady. And then Matoy feels her sister's coming back, showing her increasing spiritual sensitivity as the servitor of Tsukiko.
And then I love this scene from Ashley. She just lays it out.
Ever consider I'm just that badass? No, actually, I don't think anyone ever has. Lindsay, you bitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth, I'll put you out to best, you It wasn't for your shenanigans. And Lindsay makes a fair point here. That mess was indeed a ticking time bomb.
Hayato, jeez, calm down.
Wow.
It's actually your fault.
Did you think those were goddesses?
Did you think?
Did you think you had the answers? Lindsay is actually being pretty reasonable. I got to admit, she's being, considering where the place she's coming from, she's being pretty reasonable with everyone. Although we do get to see a very cute side to her for the first time properly very shortly.
Yeah.
Especially, she still hates Kieran. Kieran's like, yes, I also prevented it. So shut the fuck up.
And
Anon is going to have a scene with CJ, Lindsay, and Kieran. Write it down. Put it in the presses. It's going to be weird.
I thought we agreed that there wasn't going to be any more scenes until chapter 100.
I never said that wasn't the case. I never said it wasn't at chapter. No.
I think
what I said does not counterbact
we all
that.
agreed that that's what was going to happen. I think.
It's going to happen at 100.
I never agreed with this.
Yeah, well, it's not like anybody's going to ever see it, so no. We'll just
wow. But yes, Ashley's like, why do you even have powers? It's like, bitch, these came from you. Yeah, she is a green gold. All spiritual power that we know. This is actually kind of important in an overall sense. All spiritual power in the world comes from 4 sources.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like.
But it seems obvious, but now getting confirmation is good.
Yeah, it seems like with how, because Anon jokingly not jokingly, but he talks like he makes his meme pictures of Oot 2 and Oot 3, and then. Well, I think someone asked him was like, so is it going to be similar to Oot, like the first Oot with the same goddesses? And he's like, Oot will always have the same aspects of the colors, if you know what I mean. So I'm guessing this is what we have to work with
the same sort of
here.
meta-magical system going on.
I'm very happy that he reinforces his points because, wait a second, what does Ellen mean again? What does that mean again? Sarah, please tell me what that means.
Are you actually asking? Or okay, never mind.
No, I'm not asking.
Okay, Sarah.
See
Okay.
what but yes, so. Lindsay really cuts it. Like you can call them colors, winds, whatever, but that's all. All power stems from these four. That's also go back on a really important point. You have what each goddess has one, but they can be combined in lesser amounts, which is really important. I think there is some intermixing just at a lower level of energy.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because to me, we don't get to see a lot of characters outside of our group and how their souls are. But I find it hard to believe that everyone's just one color. Like, there's got to be some. Yeah, I mean, we see that with the maids, but it's a little different with them.
It's kind of mentioned in 53 in passing that souls will go to the goddesses, like their domains that they're most similar to. Mm-hmm. In Hebe's little whatever is going on with Hebe, where Ash is. But that there are places where it's like an even mix. So.
And then I love this line.
Yeah, why do you know? Have you been up to something? Ashley Murakami, full name. We've all been there. I was on a cyber spaceship following around an eerily familiar holographic AI who talked about everything in colors like that.
Thank you, honestly, thank you, Ashley, for actually paying attention. Genuinely, I'm so impressed.
Although she also misses so many important details.
Well, sure, no. Yeah, she doesn't get all the details and probably some really important stuff, but it's like she actually was actually kind of listening.
Because he thought I was there to eat him. I mean, in a sense, you still are, but that's different. 3 were really mopey and depressed about dumb shit or something. The 4th was super hot. You saw him for a split second.
Yeah.
Oh, my powers work now because I have a magic bracelet that connects me to the ship or whatever. Which is what kind of makes me think that was like the inside of Hebe herself rather than
Do you have brain damage? Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen. And Sarah's like, oh, that makes sense. And then, yes, what happened? And then Ashley's like, but wait, you were there. Just without your thigh. Except your brown eyes were really skinny instead of giga thick, acted kind of stupid instead of just bimboey, and called yourself Diary. Ashley, oh, so you did meet Diary. And Kira's like, yeah, none of this made you suspicious.
Poor Ashley.
Without the schizo babble. I was like, the ship called Hebe, or a ship that had Hebe in it, or the ship belonged to a Hebe. Thank you for clearing that up, Ash.
Well, no. I actually don't hate that line, because I don't think it was very clear.
No, that's why that's part of the joke, but...
Yeah, I mean, yeah. President Ashley, it's the future.
Most people are now able to exist in the internet. I mean, yeah. It's all super sci-fi, wicked cool. And then Crow herself chiming in there. Kind of important that Crow speaks up there to confirm that point. And then Jamie also hearing her.
Mm-hmm. I do like this part though. She said all that stuff about colors, whatever. It just made sense. So like,
well, it shows you that it really speaks how Ashley runs on intuition and instinct more than logic and reason. Mm-hmm. There was some connection issue or something that is now fixed.
Yeah, the explanation for that was just that Hebe wasn't aware of her existence.
And the connection, and presumably she shut down all of her connections outside of her current state.
It really makes you wonder if Hebe shards existed at one point.
I think they did. I'm pretty sure that they did in the past, but that they did. I mean, it's also been suggested that any Hebe shards that had existed ended up in the place where Ash was, rather than going back to Hebe proper.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. The whole
we don't know.
The whole spaceship, and then it probably not being the seal, but Hebe's supposed to be behind the seal.
Yeah, I do feel like this whole whole sequence is basically setting up, giving us some hard baselines for how magic works now, basements.
Oh, I love this stuff. I love getting actual explanations to how the power system works in media. It's so good. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that fits. Jamie confirming, which is nice. That fits with how that's used, because Jamie herself is a chromatic. Yeah, Ashley can go back there, but I don't think anyone else can. Maybe you could bring someone, but we don't know. And we know CJ can go there, sort of.
Sort of. I still don't think that, because... Well,
no, I don't think he himself went there per se.
I
think she used Hebe's powers to find him, rather than he went through there and
he was there for a split second at the entrance to the subway and then vanished to his own world.
Which we know is
it's
not
a subway. It's supposed to take you places.
It's a connection, but it's a liminal space, right?
It's the hub. I love how self-aware she is, though. There was a lot, and most of it flew over through my head. Like
she's just honest, where most people wouldn't really give it. And this is okay. Wait for the moment. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, where everyone kind of gets a whammy.
It was billionth.
And then Kieran and Sarah are like,
mine.
CJ breaks out of his gloom for a second, and Jamie's like, eh? Because
of course she wouldn't.
That's actually kind of important to me, though, because that says to me that that Jamie is specifically bonded to CJ, not to OG. Mm-hmm. That's an important distinction.
Mean, the whole beginning of Tsukiko's thing of not being aware of a lot of stuff, like, has always been super important, because, like, why would she know that? She only knows.
Yeah, but with how bonds go forwards and backwards in time, though, is what I'm saying, is that this to me means that Tsukiko wasn't necessarily around within OG, which certainly adds a complexion and complexity. Yeah.
You can't spell believe.
But this just is yet another name for CJ. Like, how many names? CJ has so many names now he potentially could say are his name. For CJ, Cameron, Jacob, Elenath, JC. And Crow
I don't
and
care
Kieran
about the pronunciation. We are now calling CJ Eli from this point forward.
No, we're not.
You can't do that because that's the name. That's my go-to name to use in most AVNs. So you can't do that.
We can't spell believe without Eli.
Why would we want to call Rayze his real name CJ? Like, it's crazy.
Totally real.
Trying to keep us on track before we completely go over time. Crow is the one here who delivers it, and she's very different Crow as well in many ways. Like, she's not often been shown like this in this particular, the way she's light lit and stuff. It's interesting to see.
It's been a little bit.
3 syllables, enough.
And
then it flicks back to Kieran, because again, Kieran is Crow. Just hammering that home again. And Misaki's like, yeah. And then we briefly see Red Sarah, which is obviously Crow's original, Crow's original form, apparently. So
I prefer to call her White Sarah, actually.
Oh,
yeah, because you're. You know what?
Steady.
Yeah, White Sarah.
And then everyone's. It is a really impactful moment, though. That.
Oh.
And then.
Really, really important.
Hello, boob window.
It doesn't narrow it down, technically.
And then
that's a fair point.
It's important that Mizui It's interesting that Mizui's figured it out for now. She's really showing her magic ability. And here we get a little bit of a mini free roam.
Yes.
After we get to see just how damaged Mizui is right now. Where she actually kind of dresses down Ash, and it shows you how much she's hurting that she's behaving in this way. She's really extending iron control over herself to hold back the grief, and then it comes out in this way. It's a very classic coping mechanism. But even through that, she feels bad that she did it. But it just shows you how on the edge she is. But still, good Mizzy's still there. She's just hurting, as Misaki then points out.
I don't know if this is intentional or not, but she's not shadowed here, and I just find it interesting.
Well, I mean, probably not, because I guess because Ash can see her
I was
now.
about to say, I'm wondering if it's because Ash is looking at her, not because she's next to Kieran.
Yeah.
Right, and the golden ratio Anon? Holy.
I mean, that is actually a good point. Like, we never really talk about just how messed up Mizzy's life is. Like...
Yeah, I mean... No, I agree. It's really hard to... I mean, it's hard to you just forget about it because everybody's life is so fucking
When you boil it down,
messed
she
up.
essentially has lived 3 separate lives. She's got all the memories of living Hayato's life up until he meets Kay and they form their relationship.
Meeting Mizzy in the other side, Space Sweden or whatever the fuck it was, seems like forever ago.
But then you've got her living Jamie's life, and then you have her own life, which the memories of which she's gradually coming back to her, which presumably has been happening for a while now. So she's got those memories coming back as well. But it's really interesting that Misaki and Ashley team up here basically to do what I suspect Hebe did back in.
Really makes you think.
Really makes you think.
Right, guys.
Yes,
do
and
what
of course,
you do best, Ashley.
Butts.
Ashley.
I mean, Ashley. And K31 pops.
I'm gonna execute
Greetings,
that one.
And here we go
you
again.
Will not. You know what's good.
Your ring's firmware has been updated to consciousness standard and may now be used at will. Warning, safety limiters are engaged per consciousness standard. So you can't just, summon a nuke that's currently exploding.
What she's saying here is by the way, I'm not going to let you use enough power to break a hole open in the world like the other ones.
Yeah, you're not gonna. Right? Yeah, we're not gonna let you smash a hole in reality with your powers.
And then this right here, your Apex clearance is granted you access to Priority 1
Priority
data
1,
queues.
do not get me started, Howard.
You can answer anything, and I'm like, this is the person that doesn't fucking
any
use it.
Object of being is available at any time. Nice!
I need to know the answers for this stuff. No, it's fine.
Only you and your other piece can see it. Also, I took the liberty.
K31, what are the goddesses? Oh no.
What's happened? What is up with Hebe and has been what's she been doing all this time? What's the deal with that? There's so much. You may find information.
As well as you may find the information within extremely valuable to your current situation, as well as your origin.
Your origin,
lady.
Original.
I know whatever.
what I'm doing. When this line dropped, when I read that the first time, I made such a loud noise that I woke up my girlfriend. I was like,
the one. Which one? Your favorite?
What? Oh my God, Techno! Come on.
Going left to right. We'll start with Kieran.
I didn't realize this was animated.
You didn't realize.
Fae class servant. I'm going to read out all of these. Fae class servant detected. Analyzing. Complete. Subject displays personal spiritual heraldry in Scarlet Crow, but her power core, the root of her power is violet and gold.
Yeah, for some reason the combination of both those is red, and then the opposite of the other.
Well,
two
don't forget
blue.
it's not like an artist's color palette. It's more to do with.
Oh no! Yeah, that's not a. Yeah, obviously it's not supposed to make sense.
High destructive power, intelligence, and copulation tendencies.
Yep.
Okay.
Crow.
That's true for everyone.
Yeah,
we
all thought we all thought that Teresa was getting pregnant.
Okay, so this is a really interesting line though. Subject may be a member of an active collective consciousness.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
No,
so
it's just I that's literally just giving you the standard reading as if you didn't know what was going on. So if we didn't know Karen, this would go. By the way, it's probably
what an active consciousness means is bonding. That's a bond, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair. Okay. So
I would agree.
Bear in mind. Let me finish. So bear in mind that when we're in 53, they describe the Gestalt consciousness as a shared consciousness.
That's terrifying.
Has Hebe forced a bonded state on all of those souls so that they don't die?
There's no way. That's insane to think about.
Dude, it's Evangelion.
Everybody's
you're not far wrong. Just put it out there. I just think it's a possibility, and if it is the case, then fuck, dude.
Yes, perfect future.
And then Karen acting actually not that she didn't act nice before, but no teasing. Are you okay?
But she's a lot more chill. She's a lot less intense. I think what she means to say is that Kieran found out who she really is, and it's not me. Ugh, such an important line confirming for the normies once more that no, Kieran is not Misaki.
Dude, if you don't get it at this point, I swear. Guys, come on.
At this point, it's been spelled out.
Dude, this is spoons.
They made a mistake with their early guess, which was just according to the information they had at the time. that she was that, Kieran was a product of Misaki
Which
and
again,
Crow's spirit.
it made
intermingling.
sense.
At the time, made sense, but obviously now that we know more, no, they are two separate entities, and they always have been. Yes. Also underlining that this is Crowyari. And that the evil fox lady, as Ashley puts it, is not the true Crowyari. Never was. It's all her pain, and all the memories of that pain, and all the power that came with them in a semi-separate entity. And you're still you.
So
I do love how Ashley
Ashley
just accepts her, though. Ashley's just like, okay.
Well, Ashley, I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's important that she does it. Like, this is really important, though, for Kieran, that Ash accepts her just. And Misaki's, it's just really nice. A little bright spot. And this is another one, like, Ash is just going around just trying to heal some hearts right now. Personal spiritual heraldry of ocean blue. Teal and amber combination. Tendencies are balanced with an emphasis on youthful playfulness and maternal instinct.
Huh.
Further delayering shows a strong chromatic connection, obviously her connection to CJ.
But I want to point out that it didn't show that for Kieran.
Probably not, because she's not quite as close to CJ yet.
But we know that CJ and Sarah bonded the way that they did.
Yeah, because it's through Sarah that her bond is currently functioning the most. That's probably going to even out in the future, though, I suspect.
God. I have some thoughts on how Sarah acts, but they won't make any sense because I know neither of you played what I would say, so it doesn't matter. But oh my god, I can't wait for the Sarah.
You're talking about Deltarune again. Aren't
Shut up! It's fine. Don't worry
Oh,
about it.
I mean, we all have something like where it's
She
like,
just
oh,
really.
this is like this.
She reminds me of how Rayze acts. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just. Yeah, everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
But this also shows how guilty Sarah is still feeling. Like Sarah has a lot of her own shit to process with the guilt that she's feeling from what she almost did. Well, she did do, really. She was only prevented by Kieran. And also just holding information back, which is anathema to a Fae. Like, hiding information like that is just not in her nature.
Which, again, I agree. That's very important to point out because it just shows how human she is as well. I think that's very important.
Yeah, I agree. I have some control over what thoughts and feelings I send and receive. So, is you going to get red hair and pointy teeth? I don't care if that's a mistake. It just is such an.
No, that's 100% how Ashley talks. Is you gonna get red hair and pointy teeth?
The original hair color was actually white. And then she just hugs her. And for Sarah, who's such a tactile person and like so emotional as well, this is really like, you're still my buddy. You might be a weirdly sapphic fairy, but you're my weirdly sapphic fairy. I love you as much as I always have. That's such an important thing for Sarah as well, to hear that.
I know.
This is a really interesting insight into the other side of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's semi-Fae, so she's part Fae.
Oh, look, we were right. We were right.
Yeah, Amber and Violet. Yeah, I thought it was.
Oh, no, we weren't. Oh, no, we weren't.
I was right. No, I
Amber
changed
and
it to Amber and Violet.
I
changed it to Amber and Violet, yeah.
Completely opposites. Yeah. Caution is advised.
Yeah, because like I said, I genuinely think that Mikan is the scariest of the maids.
She's the quietest one.
It's always the quiet ones, bro. Straight up. And then Mayu, who is... And you have to admit, these combinations fit their personalities so well, it's kind of disturbing.
It's almost as if it was planned from the beginning.
Almost like it was planned from the beginning.
Damn it.
And they're really suspicious here. They're like, they're basically saying we might have to deal with you, i.e. kill you if we need to. And they're willing to do it. It's interesting that they include CJ.
I get why they are acting like this, but man, it feels so bad having this directed at Ashley.
It does, but it's necessary. It really is. I also feel like this little conversation really reveals that they accepted CJ as being pretty much on an equal par with Mizzy and Jamie.
Yeah, when did they say they mentioned that at one point that they pretty much treat CJ like they would with Jamie or Mizzy? I can't remember when they said that though.
And he moves. I think it's when he moves in.
Did Jamie tell them to do that, or
basically, yeah. I think so.
And look,
if not,
again, it makes sense. They all turned at the drop of a hat, and so could you.
Right.
And I'm like, that's fair. Probably not going to happen with Ashley.
And you were just bragging about being able to summon bombs. Also a fair point.
Completely fair. Also on an airplane, not something you want to mention. I wonder.
Like, they're not like super mean about it. They're just
in the Hebe.
They're being very pragmatic. Shush. I know where you're gonna go. Shush. Yeah, CJ too. See, ensuring Jamie and Mizzy's safety is their top priority. We've got a self-admitted murderer on board, meant by the monster that want to enslave us, and you. Yeah, I'm sorry if we're being cold.
Yeah.
But even when she's like this, Maya's still trying to be like, just be a good girl. You'll be fine. This is one of my favorite parts of this chapter.
This dynamic was totally foreseeable with how serious Lindsay's gotten and how much
and how that works with Jamie being quite serious as well when she's not around CJ. Or Mizzy.
I mean, it's no surprise to me that Grandpa convinced Lindsay to do what they were gonna do. I mean, she
was very emotionally vulnerable. Giving her power and then feeding her that information about it was pretty easy.
Yeah, but knowing Grandpa, it was like it all made sense. Like the way.
Yeah, and kudos to Lindsay for just being able to be talked down. Like she wasn't completely blinded by it. Like she learned new information. She didn't just brush it off.
She's self-aware enough to know that I was a fucking idiot at the end.
Yeah, and we saw points for Lindsay. This is an interesting one. Analyzing. Complete. Class S bivassal chromatic entity. Bivassal, referring to Mizzy as being Mizzy and.
Yeah,
which is interesting because that doesn't include Matoy.
All the different variations, yeah.
Yeah, teal and gold within this vessel, but has a clear internal connection to another vessel containing violet and amber, which is obviously...
wait a minute. Back it up.
Yeah.
Back up?
I don't know if it's talking about... No, not literally, but I don't know if it's talking about Jamie, Mizzy, and Matoy as it is talking about the intended design of Jamie being essentially an eventual host to Hayato. Small detail, but you remember how Hayato made Jamie.
But he made Jamie, but Jamie wasn't going to be a host to Hayato. Jamie's body was going to be the host, not Jamie's soul. Jamie's soul shouldn't exist at all. It should be Hayato.
This is talking about... Wait. Okay, so...
that's talking about Matoy there, yeah.
No...
Yeah.
No, I think it's talking about Mizzy.
Mizzy.
It's talking about this is both Jamie's main aspects, even though she controls all of them with Tsukiko. But combined with Mizzy, she becomes Tsukiko. But Mizzy holds Violet and Amber. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't quite pick that up the first time I played this, but
that's how the dynamic works. And it's interesting that she gets the same definition as the maids.
I find it so interesting that hers is teal and gold. And it
fits.
Yeah.
Specializes. I love that. Specializes in obfuscation and then reproduction.
Hey, you don't need to say that they're sufficient in reproduction. We know. We know.
All of them are.
That's their entire point, apparently. But
breeders. They're all breeders. I tell you.
Obfuscation thing is really interesting because it's specifically hiding, not.
Yes.
Not because
she's utility. She's a utility caster.
Yes, but I originally, whenever she was introduced with her powers, I thought she was the one that was casting the illusions. But no, she's.
That's what obfuscation is potentially.
Well, I read that as mainly hiding things, which is the.
Yeah, but how do you hide things? You hide them behind illusions.
Yes, that's okay. I don't disagree, but. The only thing she's actually done that we've seen her do herself, has been hide things. That's it. with her
and
fucking
control
domain
those
expansion.
spirits. And control the spirits that.
Yes, but
that
she got given
gave her.
those by Hayato, and then
Oh,
immediately
yeah, but she could get given. What I'm saying is that she might still have them, or that she might be able to be given other things to control.
Sure.
Likely roles.
And reproduction.
Collins' strategy.
Everyone.
Of course.
Oh, hey, have you just been saying anything?
Totally. But no, don't worry about it. Getting chummy with the new girl. We've been in the same class for 8 years, Ashley.
I
sit to your desk to your left.
Oh.
This is some heavy lampshading right now. Am I supposed to remember every random face I see at school? Do you think I have that kind of time?
I matter. Man.
Such an Ashley statement right there.
Oh, no.
Is she always like this? And we love her for it.
Thank you.
All right. I'll play along. This is the clearing the air for the normies thing of just Lindsay laying out where she stands now. And
how many times are we going to say that in future?
It's going to become a standard.
Okay, so we get clearing.
We needed a terrorist to the group, so we've got one now. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
Which...
Furthermore, do I look like a fighter? She's right. She's not. Good at detecting and
hiding or illusions. Yeah, fair enough.
Wait a minute! You're that stalker girl who was obsessed with Senpai, aren't you? Oh boy! This is the only time.
Hold on. I like to think. I know that this isn't what's happening. I like to think that K1's talking to her like, by the way, she's the one that was in the second story looking at CJ.
Right.
Wait a minute, I know you.
And then and Jamie's like, oh boy, I was 13. I grew up, okay?
Yeah, I grew up after I got.
Sure, he's cute now. She's totally not revealing that she's still into CJ.
But I like doing this so I can have his babies or anything weird. I am.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm totally doing that.
And
right, here we go.
Closing in on the end.
Oh, more.
Senpai.
What is this?
I think
CJ making choices again. Look at our boy.
And also Matoi just. I really like Matoi.
Pulls out her gun, immediately blasts Ashley
I
for
just really
daring to get too
I just
close.
really like seeing. I just really like seeing Matoi in her role with CJ. I like their dynamic. She's always been very protective of him, but it's nice seeing her just being that silent support that he could really
Amber and
use.
gold.
Yeah.
Silver and gold.
Amber and gold. So yes, specializes in leadership, management, combat, and reproduction, of course. Highly intelligent, but likely hides the fact.
Not hiding it with those
maternal
classes.
instincts present. I'm really looking forward to it.
I don't need it. Nope, don't you dare read it. I'm not letting you read it.
Damn, I can read it anyway.
I don't need to hear Rayze say those words.
What? What's wrong with me saying?
No. I will bleep you.
But
what
Jacob,
words? Tummy ache?
Oh my god. All right. Yeah.
Please
write it down, Techno. Write it down.
Yeah, this is also another moment, like Kaz said, of CJ making a choice. He is deliberately putting himself in quite a lot of extreme pain to deny these urges. I don't think it's the right choice. I can understand it's not like a good thing, but it's something he's choosing to do, even if I do feel
actually
it's kind of...
unfathomably based by both CJ and Anon to say no sex in the avian.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
no
more until chapter 100. We all agreed.
No more until chapter 100, boys.
You agreed. I never agreed.
I think that the recording I have that I'm not going to release says otherwise.
It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. It definitely exists.
But Ashley, she's not perfect about it, but she at least does say it. Just okay, she's like, okay, I won't push it too much.
I'm a fake. Dude, every time he says he's a fake, I expect him to say, I'm vaporwave.
Again,
51.
Damn, that's heavy.
Especially as it's playing.
And she's trying, Ash is trying, but she just doesn't quite understand it.
Oh, stop skipping so fast. Heck no.
It's brainwashing. They want
I'm
mutual
trying to
sex,
keep
which is
pace.
true.
If
Like
something you want to
they
focus
take
on,
pleasure
say
from
it.
it. So,
It's it
Jacob
goes
is, I
back
think,
to what I was talking about.
CJ is kind of missing the point a bit here. I think he's just kind of doing anything he possibly can to exert control, even when it's like not really.
Yeah, especially when it's
But
literally
it's
hurting him.
yeah.
Hey, that's but that's
But that
that's
is
like a
important.
self-sacrifice
Absolutely.
thing, right? Like that's him willingly
I mean, yeah, look,
hurting
Yeah,
himself.
his motivation isn't one of
to...
self-sacrifice. It's spite. Like let's not
I'm not
be.
saying
no, it
that's his
is,
purpose,
especially
but
with
I'm
what he
saying...
says right here. He doesn't even know if that's the case. He says they get pleasure from me doing it with the shards or something. I don't know. He just he's doing it out of spite.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, which is fine.
I'm not saying he
Totally understandable.
but it's like he is I don't know, he's doing whatever he can for control, like you said.
Well, and it's also that he's not having any sex at all because he's willing to have sex with Jamie, even though that was under a particular circumstance. But he's not going to just dive head
again.
dive into
that fits his criteria of like, because we know. I mean, Jamie has no, or Tsukiko had no bearing over how CJ was made. She's safe, I guess, by his reasoning.
Well, because as Jamie herself points out, their connection has nothing to do with the goddesses, really. Like on an emotional level, they love each other because they love each other, and that she fell in love with who he was before he became who the goddesses want him to be.
Yep, and CJ treated her really nicely. I just want it's another thing. Like Tsukiko and Jamie had no control over how CJ acted when it came to her, and there we go.
I mean, and this is a fair point. Like, I don't think this is his actual reason. I think he's rationalizing a little bit here, but it is a good point. He doesn't want to be a pawn. He doesn't want to play into it. And to be fair to Ash, she takes it, and then she's like, there's plenty of shards of nothing.
Yeah, but then
Sarah, let me get the Sarah point. The maids are busy. I shouldn't even just, and that just makes him, because that's just him. That shows who
this is making excuses
CJ still
right
is. Now. Yeah, he just doesn't want that kind of intimacy right now. But I also think it's kind of true at the same time. Like he feels guilty. Like he always felt a bit guilty having sex with the maids. Like he felt like he was taking advantage. And I think that kind of still follows even now. There's still an element of that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I think, and I know, this is not. I know this is just me. This is just me speaking my personal opinion right now. This is not me saying I think it will happen. This is not like I just want to say that right now. And if not,
okay,
to this,
let's hear about how you think no more sex until chapter 100. Let's hear it.
No, what I'm gonna say is I really think we need to have some scenes with CJ and the maids where he's able to establish.
That's what this is about.
To establish a more like not just their sexual relationship and not just their connection via Jamie and Mizzy, but as individuals themselves. I just think that's something I would really want to see. That's all I'm gonna say. We can now move on.
Why did everything have to be so complicated with you? You bitch, I just went through like years of trauma in 5 seconds.
I have my reasons.
I have my reasons. Ash, I know that your intent is good.
So true.
I mean, yeah.
So true. God damn it.
God. God damn it, Ashley.
I'm not fucking around, Ashley.
I mean, she's trying to cheer him up when she's behaving like this, but it's not.
Well,
really.
I mean, what's she doing right now to everybody? She's trying to be the best friend.
Yeah, right. She's trying to lift everyone up. Yeah.
I mean, he loves doing all the fun stuff, but I mean, really, who's?
I mean, that's kind of what she's seen herself as for all this time. Like, if you look back at the scenes where she's in her moments of self-doubt and talking to people, she's like, the least thing I can do is be everybody's emotional support. Is basically what she says. Like, even the whole, like polycule calm down reporting, even that comes down to her wanting to be there for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
See, we will get sexy.
No.
You were wrong.
This is
I promised her.
There's an ending.
No, yeah, he said after they're finished, like
after they're finished with the game.
After we're finished
After
on chapter 100.
You don't know how it. You don't know if it's gonna be resolved.
58. Fuck you.
You don't know if it's gonna be resolved at 58.
Nothing is guaranteed anymore. We already got Jamie sex.
Ash in full cheerleader mode here. Let's
no
do
other
this.
scene was ever guaranteed.
Ash in full cheerleader mode.
I thought that was happening
like
chapter 80.
Right?
Ash cheerleading the best
Jamie
she can. I'm trying to keep us on track here, you dumb bitches.
Oh my god.
And everybody's just like, okay, a little quiet on the enthusiasm. Nobody's really.
Oh, Ash.
Oh, Ash. She's trying so hard. Ash is just like, God damn it. But that look on Mikan's face is just...
It looks like dude. The maids are gonna stab Lindsay. Like, what is going on?
Very carefully watching. Matsui's looking at CJ, very clearly focusing on CJ.
Yeah.
But Mikan and Mayu, no, they're watching.
Everybody's worried about our boy here. And then CJ, let's just get this over with.
He's really not in the place that he needs to be for what I think is coming, as we're all about to discuss. But yes, and it's interesting that this place that we've been to before, even before the events of 48, he pops in here to.
Yeah, he sees Cameron in here. Yeah, several times.
Right, and that means that every time he has already been touching on this round to some degree, which is really interesting.
And now we get some very interesting.
Yes, get to meet a monster who's not a monster, but that's Cameron first, and Cameron sees him.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, you again.
Rug pull.
So this is where we get some exposition about this world that we're now going to be doing our next few chapters in.
Mm-hmm. And it's important to pay attention here because it implies what Niall has been doing.
Yeah. I don't even know there was someone else here. How could I be mocking you? But, this creature is understandably paranoid when we learn. But it's interesting his eyes go from amber to green. Which probably speaks to his power set. Yeah, this is obviously connecting CJ to being like an OG shard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is your army? So that's really funny that he says that, because that either implies that every other CJ shard that's showed up that's had multiple connections has come to this world with an army, or it's just referring to Niall and him having an army.
Well, he thinks he's one of Niall's Hellbloods at this point, that he's probably like a piece of Niall or works for Niall or something like that, or a creation of his. Mm-hmm. And that they're here to kill him.
Your split tongue says one thing, your power another.
Yes, this very, very old world style of speech.
So this is interesting. What he says, how did you accumulate so much power? You must have devoured hundreds, thousands.
Yeah.
Right.
So CJ obviously is like he's not just a little bit more powerful than most shards. He's a lot more powerful than most shards.
But it implies that Niall's been gathering power by consuming souls.
Exactly, which likely is other OG shards.
Probably other CJ shards, which is what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
which honestly,
it's going to be awful.
It could link to why OG shards spontaneously keep dying and then the world's end. Like, maybe this is what it is. They end up here spiritually.
They end up here. Oh, dude. Oh, God. Well, we've seen them die
but that's how the world explains their deaths, rather than necessarily being what killed them.
That's true.
Like, as far as the world knows, Cameron wrapped his bike around a tree, and that's what killed him. But we know that wasn't what killed him. That was just how it was explained.
That would make Niall, like, overpowered, like the most,
which is exactly what this creature says. Like, this creature says that Niall is really strong.
Dude, if that's the case, I guarantee you that's why Niall wears those fucking gauntlets. It's because his arms are like what OG is like in that dream, like all veiny and shit, full of flowing with power.
Would not be surprised. Would not be surprised.
That's what it is.
Maybe
that does fit pretty well. Yeah, but interesting that he basically he acknowledges that he is what he has a master or belongs to someone or follows someone. Likely Hebe. We don't know that, of course, but just possibly Hebe or some other entity that's aligned that way.
There's only one other that attains such a thing. That is your guilty plea. So is that talking about Nile? Because
I think so.
All four
yes.
within you, there's only one other that has achieved such a thing. So that's
or Cameron. It's Nile or Cameron.
That's true, because Cameron was right there, and Cameron should have all the rings, right?
Right. So it's going to be Nile. It's going to be Nile or Cameron.
Oh no, it is talking about.
No,
Nile.
It is Nile.
It is
Nile.
Nile.
He who was chosen.
I couldn't remember.
And this model, unique model, you'd call it. I think it was made in Blender and then transported over.
Mm-hmm.
He is why Hellblood's rule and mortal man is doomed to curse and bondage. So Hellbloods, I would presume, are
they
his person?
Are they CJ shards?
I think they may be more likely to be Fey-blooded, but born of that, like bound to Nile.
I mean, Hellbloods. I mean, to be fair, Hellbloods could be an entirely new thing, considering of how
it could also be an entirely new thing. Yes.
I mean, think about it. His Fey companion looks like a fucking demon. None of the other Fey look like that.
So maybe the Fey, maybe it's their children.
Version of Fey, or something.
Yeah,
it's hard to say right now. I'm sure we'll find out.
I personally lean towards it being some kind of twisted version of the Fey, where they're servants and they're doing his will.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, who knows? I mean, it could just be that, and that Fae or that demon girl that we've seen him with is supposed to be
CJ Jacob, whatever you want to call him right now.
Jacob.
Jacob.
We'll just call him JC for now. So
you call him whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Eli here.
He's not being subtle. He's not holding back. Like CJ normally would be cracking jokes, not be like this. He's obviously still not.
And that's so important. Oh my god, saying this line right now. I haven't killed anyone ever, and I plan on keeping it that way. We know that CJ is going to absorb CJ shards. That's going to inadvertently kill somebody.
But the question then becomes: do they do that? Like, does he kill them to do it, or do they sacrifice themselves?
It's going to be sacrifice. Oh, dude, that'd be so fucked up. Someone. Oh man, it's someone sacrificing their life.
I mean, one of my pet theories is that the other 3 OG shards that we know of are going to sacrifice themselves to power up CJ enough to achieve something, and then he will inherit. And then he will inherit their Fae.
I agree, kind of. I still think that at least Alan's gonna get fucking killed by Nile here, absorbed.
Yeah,
and
but that's what I'm saying. I think the way
that's gonna happen.
I think the way that might end up working though is that Alan's gonna die to Nile, and then will help CJ from within Nile, because we know that you can't just absorb a shard and then keep it. It doesn't immediately go all the way in. Like we see in Kione,
all those souls inside of Nile.
Time.
Good lord.
Yeah, it takes time for those souls to be properly absorbed into someone.
Yeah.
So my guess is that that's what's going to happen.
I mean, even Kione could completely absorb.
It takes
Cameron.
time. Yeah, it took her a long time to do it. It took her a long time, and the more powerful the shard is, presumably, the more difficult that is to do.
Oh my god! Imagine being powerful enough to nag the shit out of Nile, being like, "You suck. You killed me.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you."
For you.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's got all these swords embedded to him, and if you look at the colors of the hilts of the swords, they are interestingly colored.
Yeah.
There's green, and there's red, and then there's a purple as well. Very dark purple.
I don't know. I think that's
probably just coincidence, but it's just interesting.
Yeah. Skyrim is interesting.
Clothing is strange and ostentatious. I have given thee courtesy enough.
I shall not eat you now.
Challenge me with
dignity.
So that I may butcher you for the sins you've committed. Did your brain fall out when your nose fell off? I told you I don't want to fight, and you have no idea who you're dealing with. That ring. See, he recognizes Heap's ring.
Well, and I assume this is also a fight scene as well.
Or at least
this is what we were talking about. This has to be.
Even if it's just a fake out. It's just a fake out.
The way it cuts has to be a fight.
You face Diogen, the redeemed.
Thank you for pronouncing that, because I was not going to.
Diagen.
Diogen.
However you want. Until Anon says otherwise.
Well, Diogen, diarrhea. I'm just going by phonetics.
The English language is thing.
This is like obviously him just like you don't know someone until you fight them kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm all for throwing hands for the sake of just throwing hands. It's very fun.
Right. And then like, you know, he sort of steps back and is like, okay, I know you well enough now to know I believe that you're not, you know, Hellblood.
What's very interesting is we know in combat CJ
I was just about to say that. Yeah, nobody showed up for that.
No.
But then also CJ. this is the first time but I wonder if that restriction was a consequence of the control of the influence of the goddesses, and now that he's free of that, he's no longer under that restriction.
Oh my god, dude, that's like well, it's not exactly, but Final Fantasy IV, you get a class change for your character after they have like player growth, and so maybe that'll happen in this.
That's just my vibe, though. Like, I think that, you know, don't forget CJ could still attack, even in the like proto version we got. He just couldn't like use magic to do it.
Ineffective. Yeah.
You
are not a mortal man. Yes, I am. Because you can hear me.
Because you can hear me. But I think this is kind of also important. CJ is really going to try and cling to his humanity now. Yeah, I suspect he's going to have this phase where he's going to try and reject most of the things that make him a god. And, you know, Dice is like pointing out even this early point. Yeah, you can't escape what you are.
I do find it interesting though. He says, "I speak through the power," which so he's channeling the green right now. So he's speaking through like Hebe-like power.
So it's magic, basically.
And then he says, so he's talking about the power of the goddesses. Their power is the only common tongue. But I also follow a different power, though, implying that he follows a different goddess or something completely different, also entirely.
Maybe, or maybe just his origin point power is different. Maybe. I believed you when you said you were looking for a goddess for many do, likely the same one you seek. Which is really, again, definitely adds to the odds that their other OG shards end up here somehow.
For all of eternity, I mean, we know that there hasn't been another one that's had all four connections, but like if you get to, 2 or whatever, you start looking around for the other ones.
Well, I mean, I can imagine that there's other ones that have like knowledge of the other side. They go there, they get stronger even if they only have 2 active connections, and then once they really reach a threshold of power, they naturally are drawn here through some means. Probably looking for Hebe, like she's the missing one, right? So,
and then he says, "Your story broke in one important aspect, though." Niall claims.
He claimed. See, that's what adds to the theory we've talked about a fair bit, even in this episode, where likely she did empower him, and she still needs him perhaps to try and keep things running, and then she has to deal with this horror that he's created as a necessary evil, quotation marks.
And people still die trying to get there to his castle.
Just to bring tribute. Not even like to attack him, but just to bring tribute. But it's really interesting. I know I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit with work in progress, but we've seen a couple of the work in progress images that the gang's already in what appears to be a fortress with a sea of blood around it.
Oh yeah, so they appear right there.
So it's interesting that they appear there.
I was going to talk about that. Here. I think something different. I think when I saw that was that CJ's already gone ahead.
Maybe. Time flows weirdly, right? So it could
Time is weird.
But also a Mara reference right there. Really interesting point that the Mara exists in the darkness and the nothingness that surrounds all that is left of this world.
This is very
interesting. Which really adds...
Yeah, it implies the world's like falling apart, and that only Niall's power is preventing what is still left from being alive.
In turn, I want to put forward this may be what has empowered the Mara enough, feeding on all that misery and on all that despair and all the damage and harm done, is what's made them strong enough to potentially kill a goddess.
I find it so hard to believe that the Mara haven't just progressively been getting stronger ever since the split.
More than likely, but this is like a particular source of strength.
If they feed off of pain and suffering, there's been nobody suffering longer than the goddesses constantly over and over again. Like, good lord.
Right, but they might be strong enough to at least like not directly push off their influence, but the consequences of their actions.
No. I mean, well, it's like if you're a being that feeds off those things, it doesn't matter if you can't influence the thing that's constantly in pain and suffering. If you can just keep feeding off of it.
But I'm saying is that it just makes them more. It boils down to the same thing. It makes them more powerful.
What's that got to do with me? That's a line.
This is interesting, and then he cuts himself off though. But what's that got to do with it?
That's a line. I don't. It's probably not intentional, but that's a line from Only.
Because if you are, it's really interesting to find and then he cuts himself off.
The capital L in there is interesting. So it's in some sort of
the lady, maybe
the Lord.
Could be the Lord.
It's probably, if you're here to find the Lord, this goddess. So he's probably conflating the two because he thinks that the goddess has given him favor. It's probably a Lord. It's probably Lord. The one Lord. Yeah. The one ring. It's fucking Sauron.
To rule them all.
I mean, that's probably not an accidental reference. Like, he is that level of evil.
Yes.
See, so he can't have gone ahead. He's literally as far from me as he possibly can.
This is the edge. He's the center.
But then he does teleport.
Again, time.
But also, Diogen teleports him. He does that at the end of their conversation. He says he will send him there.
I just feel like CJ is going to be facing Nile alone. That's why I say it.
Maybe, at least at first.
Well,
maybe.
I want to point out.
Yes,
again,
at first,
I don't like talking about work in progress, but we did a little bit. We didn't see everybody.
CJ isn't there, but everyone else is. But CJ is not there. Tsukiko isn't there either, but then she doesn't usually appear until
the fusion happens.
Until combat happens, yeah.
Fusion.
No one should find
the important thing is that the important thing is that Baihi and Mione are there. That's the important thing.
Well, I think this is actually interesting. Hold on that point. So CJ ends up here on the edge of the world, and then the rest of the cast we've seen in work in progress ended up like either at the castle or somewhere else incredibly important. And he says no one can find their way here without even by accident.
And the fact that CJ's
Cameron's here.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So CJ's also come here before, like a few times. So there's obviously something here that draws him here that maybe is Cameron, and there's something that draws Cameron here as well. Maybe Cameron. Maybe it is Cameron.
CJ shards. I think that's
maybe it is also, Cameron himself.
It's not no one can find themselves here. It's no one should find themselves here. Yeah. That's different.
That's true.
No, but no one should find their way here, even by accident, implying that you can't.
But that's different from no one can, because the way it's read, it sounds like it, like no one wants to come.
I guess that's fair. No, I guess that's a fair way to interpret that. Yeah, that's fine. You will reach him, but you wish you had not.
Yeah, Diogen is. He does say you're strong. You're stronger than anyone I've seen come through here.
Yep.
But you are not as strong as him.
I mean, yes, CJ's not feeding on souls.
There you go. This is where we get his name, the true heir, which again feeds into my theory that Niall believes himself to be the heir to the throne.
Here's a great thing to think about. If Niall, hold on. So get this. I don't know if this is going to happen. I'm not making a guess as to what Niall's going to try and do and say, but CJ is at a point where he wants to be done with all of it. And I'm not saying this is CJ like wanting to kill himself here. This is not like Hayato, like from 51 and 50, but like,
yes.
If Niall offers CJ an out, like, yeah, you can just go live with the rest of your things. I just need all of your power, blah, blah, blah.
Just give me your power?
Whatever. Yeah, right?
Give me your power, then I'll just...
I mean, do we think CJ's gonna fucking...
I think it might be a thing he tries to tempt him with. I genuinely think that.
That sounds like, so you hate everything right now and the goddess is controlling you? That really fucking sucks.
But this links back to what I said earlier.
I'll give you an out. There you go.
Yeah, this links back to what I said earlier, though, where CJ is... He doesn't know who he is right now. He doesn't know what he wants beyond... this to be over. He wants his pain to end.
So we know 58 is gonna be, but I feel that in some way or another, the meeting is going to galvanize CJ back to who he's. Again, I said it with said it with the reverse CJ. We've said it with the nihilistic versus CJ's optimist. Like there. I don't see, even if it's terribly painful.
Overall, I strongly suspect that this arc overall for CJ will be a crucible for him to forge who he wants to be, how and what direction he wants to take things.
He's getting a contrast as to what like the worst version of OG is Niall, right? Like this is like awful. This is your contrast here. Who do you want to be, right?
Or do you just want to walk away from it all? Like, are you willing to allow this to start? Are you willing to allow all of the creation?
Like, you could give it all up. Are you
can you imagine how powerful?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how powerful is Niall gonna be if you give him your power? Like CJ is strong. We know he's really strong. If he ends up with CJ's power as well, he may well become the new OG.
We don't know how the kicking off of Ascending starts, but it was implied that absorbing Crow was going to do it. Like enough power, you might. You might be the key, CJ. You might kick it off for Niall, and there you go. It's all over now.
So
massive
that
dickhead becomes.
So I mean, the question then becomes: does CJ step up to the plate out of earnest, like you don't deserve this power. I will wield it if someone has to, or is he going to be much more along the lines of
because
I don't want this, but I will rather I will grudgingly take this up. So whether he's going to be embrace it or be reticent about it, that's the real question. Whether he's going to be reluctant about it.
You guys reminded me, like, do the other goddesses know? He'd be obviously, but do the other three know about this dude?
I don't think they
do. Probably not. If there's anything that I'm certain of is that this is his world hidden behind the seal. It's gotta be, and he has to be hidden behind the seal.
Which means that there's this incredibly, in fact, I suspect he is what they are sensing when they talk about a massive cancer. And corruption.
They do refer to Hebe as like a traitor, because if she abandoned everything, as if like they possibly can sense Niall if he's that powerful behind the seal, like Rayze said.
But not as who he like. If we genuinely think of Niall as the nega OG, is the opposite. If he is like because he seems to function like a black hole of power. He draws all these things and power to him, and he just drains it all away. You can't you dirty buggers.
What?
Anyway,
I just started laughing.
I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyway,
you're laughing, guys.
But anyway, you see what I'm saying, though, right? Like, it's that if he's like the opposite of everything that OG used to be, it makes sense how they would sense his power and his presence, if it's considerable enough, as being such a cancerous thing, because he's the opposite, right?
The Crimson Chin.
No, we're moving on.
I agree, Rayze.
I do agree. I agree, Rayze.
Sometimes I think I'm doing this cast with children.
Dude. Give me a...
No.
Oh, man.
Alright. Retain your venom behind your teeth, for I deserve not such an insult. I do love the way Diogen speaks. I do love it. It's very Baroque. It's very old.
All Hellbloods and their slaves are my enemy. So, okay, very clear referencing something is Hellbloods and the rest of humanity, people that serve them.
Yeah. I presume Niall has. Yeah, I presume so. If we go with the guess that the Hellbloods are Fae that have been corrupted and bound to Niall and his companion.
Well, hold on. Here's a really wild thing to think about. If the entire world is like this and it's filled with blood and like all this just horrific, like this perverted version of a world,
and Fae are products of the world.
Fae still exist and can be born. Imagine like this is that's what the Demon Girl is. It's just fucking fucked up Fae from a world that like
that's tortured like and in a state of in a state of torture and pain. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I think. I think it could well be. And then he has the slaves is probably the human population that have been enslaved by him to worship him. So the power within you matches mine own, which is interesting. So I'm wondering if Diogen is actually like a shard that somehow persisted, or at least that's just a possibility.
Well, it's very interesting because we've only seen not monster characters, but monster-like figures on the other side, and they look very shadowed. They don't have any detail. I mean, for all we know, this is what we could have been looking at whenever we look at like the one I'm thinking of is the scene where Cameron goes and he views all those lost souls and
Yeah,
he sees
yeah, I know what you
some
mean.
that look like monsters.
Maybe this is what they would look like if
yeah.
they manifested physically. Yeah, that's possible. That's
Something
possible.
of the sort. What does he say
But
here?
he says that he would use his, so he was going to help him by teleporting in. Like you teleport, and I will guide you. Then she will. Oh, cuts himself off again. You will be free of. So he obviously, I think, is intending to help to attach something to CJ when CJ leaves.
I do wonder if the green eyes, like she says, she referring to the goddess will be free of this place, because it seems like she will. You will be free of this place.
Well, there is some entity here that is like that he's protecting, that he's the guardian protector of now, and he sees CJ as a way to let her be free, which is
hold on. Here's something interesting to think about. Okay, Niall, did we? Because we can't see Niall's rings at all. We don't know if he's connected, but he's the only one connected to Hebe, which means
that we know of.
There probably was a Hebe shard on this world. So
it could be her. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be very interesting.
Oh.
Fallen Star. Calling him Fallen Star is a very interesting thing to do. Well, considering that what we know about.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, anyway, we are now going to get past the mic to Kaz to do his what you wanted to do from at the start. As you mentioned,
passing it to me. This is a joint effort.
I'm sure it will be, but you're going to kick us off. So,
okay. Well, CJ. Where to begin? Well, I guess we just wanted to, and I just wanted to talk about CJ as a character, and give him some props because I don't feel like he gets enough. Because this game is understandably so much about the girls.
Yeah.
Where, from the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes of the game, we see CJ get used and hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember, we're going to get sentimental here. I remember first time I played Oot, I shed some tears at that early 10-20 minute mark when that scene happened. And that, I don't know, I was just in the mood, I was just in it, and yeah, like 10-20 minutes into the game, that's just me crying. And I don't know why, but ever since then, CJ, I see that vulnerable CJ, but then he kind of transforms, right? He becomes he grows up, quote unquote, right? Yeah. He becomes the clown. But slowly but surely, we see cracks of that boy, right? The real CJ.
Which is exactly what Jamie says.
That yep.
She sees the real, what she sees as the real him through the cracks when they occur, yeah.
And a scene that I think about quite often, and definitely a scene that made me reflect on this whole journey and this idea about CJ being, up until now, essentially a side character in his own game, was the the Leia arc. I think it's very early Leia arc when they're hanging out. Like, I think it's after she tries to do the bridge. They're hanging out in his room, and she is talking about her mother and his mother and all that stuff. And he just has this look when she starts talking about like killing her mom and all that. And he kind of, but he quickly as it comes, he kind of stuffs it down, typical CJ. Mm-hmm. And that was the moment where I was like, this guy never gets to be himself. He never gets to talk about his problems because he has everybody else's problems to deal with. And he never...
Well, even when he does touch on his own problems, they're always in the context of other people's.
And not just that, he can't. Because think about when it comes to Leia and Vic. If he talks about his mother, they're going to say, I'm going to kill her. If he talks about his problems with his mother, with Sarah and Teresa, they're going to be, okay, I can be your new mom. It's fine. He cannot just talk about his problems. He cannot just work through his problems. Except, you're correct, Jamie. Old CJ Hall and Jamie Oates. And so that
But
moment,
even then, he can't do that all the time with Jamie because he feels guilty for doing it. Because unloading on just one person, of course, you're going to feel guilty about that when you care about them.
Exactly, and he sees his problems as being so minute in the face of everybody else's, um, in my opinion. And so these last chapters, where we see just what this has caused, where
The
CJ
damage.
can't
Yeah, the
talk with
underlying
anybody,
damage.
where
Yeah.
CJ can't be himself, he has to be this pillar all the time.
I mean,
And we see what's really underneath.
I mean, that's also a damage. And in a sense, I know I'm taking this into a direction that some people might not be 100% comfortable with, but in a sense, that's a pretty solid representation of what it is to be masculine or expected of masculinity in current world, where like the man is expected to carry his emotional burdens alone and not share them and not talk about them and not like you can't not be, even necessarily because like you don't feel them, but because doing so you're afraid to do so because you don't want to let down others.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Even if it's not, even if you're not just bottling them away, you're still letting yourself feel like even with the best will in the world. Like the girls multiple times tried to crack through his facade, but it's also worth noticing how often that deflects into something sexual.
Yes, that is
Like,
a excellent point.
like
Which ties back to like when he's trying to talk about his mom. Like it's either kill or fuck.
right.
And no, it's 100% true. Whenever we see it. I thank you for bringing that up, Rayze, because we see it. I know it's kind of twisting it, but in terms of just thematics, this update, we see I'm in pain. Let's fuck.
Right?
Literally,
You're in pain.
literally, he
Yeah.
has pain because, and they're like, "Oh, let's fuck." It's like that's not a solution. that temporarily
Yeah. I
covers
mean,
it.
it's worth noting that even the sex with Jamie wasn't about the sex. It was about the choice.
No. Yes.
And it was about the choice that to want it for himself. The sex was just the consequence of the
Being
thing that
together with
mattered.
someone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like with none of the baggage that surrounds the other relationships.
So in that thematic sense, it's, and I know he always posts that thing. He's like, I know authors who use subtext and they're all cowards. There is so much goddamn subtext in Oot. Like
Oh yeah,
there
for
is
sure,
so
for
much
sure,
like
for sure.
underlying emotional,
Yeah,
just
absolutely,
interesting
absolutely.
stuff.
It's just that
And
Anon doesn't
so
understand that like what his version of subtle is like is more like subtlety is lost on a lot of people.
yes,
So
yes, it is.
to him, it's
But
super obvious, but to everyone else, not so much.
oh man, yeah.
Oh, it's
So
so obvious. Fuck you, Anon.
it's so obvious. So me as a player who has been on this journey, goddamn, almost like what is it, 4.5, 3.5 years, ever since it really got out of Volume 1 with Chapter 15, and seeing this CJ, this Jacob, if you will, who's hiding behind CJ, finally, in the worst way, but in a way, seeing him become him has been so. God, I don't even know how to put it into words. It has been so liberating to
Uplifting?
finally be able to
Yeah,
see it.
yeah,
To finally
yeah.
be able to see, oh my God, that's him. That's Jacob.
It's
As
and
messed up as he is.
well, it's the emotional payoff. Like I know that like 50-51 in really, if you think about it, was a huge gamble for Anon. Like from a like a
Oh
lot of
man.
a lot of player bases and consumers, whatever, however you want, we term you want to use, readers, whatever. Pulling the stunt that Anon did with 50-51 by flipping the narrative in the way that Anon did,
Completely.
by recasting everything we know in a completely different light, is like it's a huge gamble. But he made it
Yep.
work. He pulled it off, and I think that like one of the many positive consequences of that is that it's allowed us to look at CJ and the roles he's had to play throughout the story, and how twisted they have been by expectations, not just of others in the cast, but even us as readers. Like we've never really thought too deeply into the consequences of why he behaves the way he does, the reasons behind it. Like, we take the whole, like, oh, Skydad came along and got rid of his fear and his doubt and all that. We kind of just took that at face value because, of course, he did. That's a way to explain why he's such a perfect, like, that's why he's such a perfect companion for all of these girls. Like, why he's such a good dude and all the rest of it. Like, it's the classic shonen hand wavy explanation. Like, and it didn't occur to pretty much any of us to really question that beyond a very sort of like surface level thing. But and now, like, it's such a huge thing. And then now we're seeing the consequences of someone who was forced to behave in that way.
And we've talked about that. I think we talked about that before, about like the barrier to entry and how he's a total jackass for making Skydad the barrier to entry, but then making hits like, you idiot, you actually believe that? It's like,
that's such a second level of rug pull that the vibe check that is Skydad with the over the top voice acting of Gianni
and the meme
the meme of it, just the visuals and how over the top it is. That in itself is a trap. It's a trap. It's a trick. The damn trickster Fade Lord that is fucking Anon is playing a trick on everyone. That was like, so you thought that was just a dumb joke? Haha. That was the point. It was a dumb joke to hide the fact that it's worse.
You thought that it was real. You thought that it wasn't a joke.
Right.
And now it is a joke. It was not real.
It's a joke, but it's a joke that hides just how fucked up it really is. Like, it wasn't just like, an excuse, a narrative excuse to try and have CJ be as perfect as he is. No, it's actually a vehicle for someone essentially being brainwashed into having their entire sense of personal agency removed and being forced to be what other people imagine a hero of 4 different kinds, no less, requires them to be.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to see how that's going to play off now that he's out the other side of it, and he's going to try and have to figure out from scratch who he is while still having to maintain all these relationships to a greater or lesser extent.
The Vic angle is crazy because it's hard to talk about with other people because I know he had to cut the scene in the first 10-20 minutes with Vic and CJ. It just fades to black. And so I talk to people and people are like, yeah, I mean, he's right. Like, they didn't, there wasn't anything bad. Like, that's what he says, right? He says, oh, we didn't do anything, and you did nothing to me, right? But that is not the case. I remember that scene. It was definitely something, and I think we might have to face that down with CJ and Vic at where they're at.
I think that's going to be a huge part of them trying to reconnect and rebuild things. Is that Vic needs to confront what she did. Say that,
and you can say, "Oh, Kione,"
and which is true. Kione certainly
it is true. But again, it's a fact.
We also come up against the simple fact that, as Leia shows, Leia is Capo. Capo is Leia. The lines between the two are far more blurred than we might want to imagine. Vic, as Techno mentioned earlier, draws such a harsh line between her and her goddess that she is hiding from what that means. It's a way of abdicating responsibility for the mistakes that she may be at least be partly responsible for, which is exactly also what we've seen Kieran do by accepting herself as Crow. She accepts that she did all those awful, terrible things to Misaki and Misaki's family. And that was an essential part of her being able to save everyone as well as herself.
Yeah. And just all that to say, it feels like finally we're getting CJ be himself, and I feel, and I know Rayze kind of felt this as well, that's why we wanted to talk about it. I feel like no one's noticing.
It's easy to lose it amid the girls. It's easy to lose it amid the girls.
And again, understandably, because that's been the focus of the game, like we just talked about, right? Even though CJ is the main character.
Right, and most people don't realize that until it's like mentioned by somebody else. They're like, oh yeah.
oh yeah, CJ hasn't been like a character. He has been having to follow all these whims. Like, it's not a joke when he says, that you've been controlling pretty much everything I do, whether literally or metaphorically. It's true. And I don't know, I just feel like we are seeing, like, what a character just through this whole journey. And now we're finally seeing him show who he really is, or to the point where he doesn't even know who he is.
But he
He
can't.
doesn't
Like this is
even
where he can
know.
start to figure it out. Like he's kind of this
Exactly.
is this. Like I said, this whole arc is going to be about CJ. Like in terms of CJ, is going to be about him self-actualizing. It's about actualizing who he is as a person, what he wants to be, where he wants to go in the future.
I hate you guys.
I agree.
But yes, we should probably end here because we're already overlong. And Techno has been.
I try not to make this. I want to apologize. Audience, I love you, but I try my best to make these episodes so short, just so you can watch them better. And then I have to deal with this nonsense of actual good discussion right at the end for another hour. It's absolutely insane.
Just split it in two.
Nope, can't do that because then we'd have to make an intro, and that would be really lame. So we're not doing that.
No, you don't. Just make a part two.
No, let him suffer. Let him suffer.
Oh my god. Fine. Yeah, I think that's what that decision at the hotel really was for me, because yes, we had 50-51, but that was, we don't know what kind of decision he would have made if not for Crowrun, right? At the end of that episode, at the end of 51.
Right.
But here,
I think he would have pulled the trigger myself, honestly.
I'm torn. I'm not sure. But here, and even you can go to the Jamie thing, it's like, oh, he was kind of being influenced there too. This is that moment at the lobby, the hotel lobby, that was 100% guaranteed Jacob. That was his choice. Was it a good choice? I'm not saying. But that was his choice nonetheless. And one of the first choices we have seen that was his and his alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for this this long Oot Cast. Right. I hope you enjoy it. We discussed a lot, we covered a lot, and also feel free to revel.
Great episode. Great episode.
Yeah, and feel free to revel in Techno's pain. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Everybody else.
Indeed. Please enjoy, and maybe not as much as the goddesses like to see CJ suffer, but a little bit.
Go give, and if you have the time, go give your love to Anon. I'm sure he'd appreciate you all appreciating the chapters that he releases, and the next one should be coming out fairly soon.
Yeah, pretty soon.
13 days till Patreon release, give or take a day.
All right.
2 weeks.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye, everyone.